heard that before.
So this cough button over here is more just if it's pause truly if you got a cough or.
No, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
One. That's more for people who are on constantly on that.
I got you.
Just like say shut off, and the big thing is you don't got to do say like one word and then shut it off when you're talking.
Good.
But it's just when you're done talking, go ahead and shut it off because there can be feedback there.
Oh.
Yeah, but it is different. There's a larger threat there for women. Right, Beth? The woman who kissed you, you weren't worried that she might keep you out back. Yeah, so might not.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta run. Thanks for the call.
So right now we're on Facebook and YouTube. Just to let you know.
Most of my time. Go to thinkfreedom.org.
I didn't know you were on YouTube.
Yep. And just to let you know on those, in between break, you got to be really watch your language on the radio.
Right.
But in between break, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I've heard some things sneak out when you guys are on break.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But it's not, like I say, it's not regulated by the FCC. So.
Oh, it's not even on break.
No. It's not on break during the show. It is.
Yeah, right. I'll be done.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Do they really fine?
Oh, big time.
Do they?
Yeah.
So that's
in fact,
not just
if
a
you
threat.
do too much, they'll kick you out.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yep.
How do they know? I mean, let's say you
They got
slipped out
people
of
monitoring.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely, they do. And then you got to report it yourself. You're supposed to report it yourself.
Oh, no
also.
kidding.
Yeah. But like if they ended up hitting, and there's like a 15-second delay, so if they hear something to hit it, then it's not a big deal. So, but as long as it's caught.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've heard Mandy Connell sneak some stuff out before too.
Like what?
I think she said asshole one time.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can say ass.
Yeah. No, it was asshole. It wasn't.
I would say she got in trouble for that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't well like that, but.
Did she say, oh?
No, she didn't actually.
She totally missed it, unless she said something that sounded like that.
Yeah,
and
could be. But this caller was being a real jerk. He just wouldn't get off on something, and she called him pretty prime name.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing, Dan?
Good.
Hey, Bob, this is Tom. He's our common man today, a listener.
Bob Logan. Pleasure to meet you.
Okay. You know the drill. Let me know if you need a thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't need this. You
No,
didn't bother?
that's not mine.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, that's what I just realized.
your
One
marketing-
for Bob, one for Tom. Oh, that's right. I didn't know if Courtney was going to be here or not, but I'll take this back.
You're flying solo today.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you.
Okay, all set.
And just let you know, we're up on Facebook and now.
Okay.
I just fit you because there was nobody in here prior to. I set up just to make sure everything, like yesterday, I had to reboot twice on this. So
what do you do, Tom?
Actually, I've worked in retail, and I'm the common guy today.
Okay.
Retail investigation, catching bad guys.
Okay.
In retail
Excellent.
stores. Yeah, so,
oh, you're like security
yeah.
there? Okay.
Loss prevention is what.
And we get your best story of catching someone.
There's some good ones, but the best ones are off air. So we're going to hold those for break time. It's amazing. And I've been doing it for 30 years. Worked at Target, Home Depot. To see, I guess not just behind the scenes, but to see what the general public actually does when they're in public is truly amazing.
But like,
Defecating on the sales floor.
no way.
Absolutely. Urinating on the sales floor.
Are you kidding me?
In the fitting rooms, doesn't matter what company I work for, if there's a fitting room, I guarantee somebody's taking a dump in it.
You're kidding me.
My last job, I won't say it on there, but my last job was with Goodwill here in Denver.
Do you think people just,
They don't care.
they can't hold it?
There was one, I'll tell you guys again on break, but there was one lady
We're on break. This is like break.
used to work over at the Target there on Route 25. There was a lady that came in, unbelievable, stunning, beautiful. I mean, she could have been a model. But she kept looking around. She was over in ladies' wear, right? Looking around. But she kept not looking at the product. She kept looking around everywhere. Well, that's what we're trying to look for, is something that doesn't fit. So she looks around pretty soon, and there are cameras up there, so she goes down behind the rack, the clothing rack. So I sent one of my detectives out there, and so I said, go look, see what she's doing there. Is she bending down, putting stuff in her purse? We don't know what she's doing from the camera view. Well, she stood up, walked around a little bit, and she left. Well, my detective went out there, and there's a big wet spot. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's
That was at Goodwill?
Target. Yeah.
God, you're right. And Bob, you're in retail all the time. I mean, you run into people all the time, I'm sure, that aren't the nicest.
It's just crazy. It's very interesting. It's and that's why it kind of intrigued me with your show. You could have a caller one day with a plumbing problem. And next time it's a boot problem, and it's just always, and that's the same with retail. It's never a dull day.
But never dull, yeah. Well, I think what we see here is there are a lot of people that aren't very good at solving their own problems.
No.
I mean, there's scammers out there, but there's also people that.
That's true.
So am I running the show today?
No, you should be up here. Well, like I said, this is about the time when he comes in, rush in, right? That's why he comes rushing.
Yeah.
Hi there. But no, it'll be both Tom and Mark
After
here.
making a quick bathroom stop.
You want to do that?
No.
Oh,
at the same
them,
time.
okay. I should start.
Tom's got to do one before and one at every break.
Your computer's up, isn't it?
Up?
Up?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. You got the call screens and everything?
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing, Tom?
How's everybody?
Fantastic.
You guys open tomorrow? On Thursday?
This is the first year we're closing.
You're not going to have emergencies?
We will for our Comfort Assurance members, emergencies for Comfort Assurance members. But aside from that, we're not.
We're up, Tom. Just let you know.
I'm Tom Anderson. I'm your comic guy. Nice to meet you, Tom.
So, it's the first year.
Yes. Yeah, we've been really stressing employee engagement this year and our culture, and we justify being open on Thanksgiving and holidays to take care of clients, do the business we're in. But
Do you think you'll get emergency calls from Comfort Insurance? Is it almost guaranteed?
it's actually not. We might get one or two, and we've got guys that have already volunteered that said if an emergency call comes in, I'll take it.
You guys do upcharge you for that?
No, in fact, for our Comfort Assurance members, there's never a trip charge. So
Yeah, they were supposed to,
What's going on, dear?
PASSWORD.
Geez, that's the one I joke about.
Mark's gonna be pissed.
Why?
He doesn't
2
have
days
a
in a row.
PC.
Why?
Because this computer's on the Windows.
we need to switch.
There it is.
What'd you do? How'd you? Well,
Look, I find wallet stand.
Suzanne.
I know passwords.
Suzanne, what was
Yeah.
the problem, dear?
His computer rebooted and we didn't know the Windows login, so it's all fixed now.
can I write that down?
It's password with a P, capital P. Oh, and
Isn't that stupid?
we're live.
Who cares?
I know.
Who has a stupid password call? Remember when I joke about it, I say password, but with a 0 instead of an O?
That's it right there. Don't tell anybody.
I was joking. I didn't know. I really know what to do.
There. Now Fancy Pants will be happy.
Yeah,
There.
you-
I've got
you better
I
tell
got
them.
you all
There you go,
logged in. I
Wow.
find wallets. I know passwords.
What was it? What is the password? Password. It's password, but with a 0.
It truly is, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's fucking crazy.
Hey, watch your mouth, Ron.
Unbelievable.
Mark, we joke about that.
I know, and it actually is. That's great.
Well, isn't that what the
I would hate for someone to break in and see what next caller's up.
Well, wasn't it the guy that got broke into his emails that the Russians put out supposedly? Wasn't his password?
Surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Are we ever going to get our
Wait till you hear.
timbers?
Probably not.
Every time I ask, it's in the works. I don't think the guy after us wanted the dimmer put in, so.
There's nobody right after us.
Mark, this is Tom. Tom, this is Mark.
Hey, Tom,
Nice to
how are
meet
you?
you, Mark.
Nice to meet you.
You're not with Plumline.
No,
I'm your common guy.
Yeah.
He's just a
You
good
should have
friend. He's
just
a good
acted
friend of
like you were
Bob's.
with Plumline.
I'm an
that's
installer.
just
I'll be working this Thanksgiving.
Perfect. I'm
By the
on
way,
call.
Bob will be with me on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
This guy's rap sheet, man. Just Colorado is unbelievable.
That's great.
You look at this shit. These are just convictions. If I actually got into charges, they're a mile fucking long. Assault third degree, domestic violence, threats to a person, driving while impaired, theft of over $15,000, turned out to be over $100,000. He still owes money. Speeding over 10 to 19 miles per hour, the prick. Judgment awarded to AccuBank, $35,000. Colorado Department of Revenue distraint warrant, $673. Colorado Department of Revenue.
Did Grove ever call us back? Grove Apartments?
Are we going to try to get him on? Did we get a number for him?
Did they?
This is what I got.
I also, well, we need a spokesperson because now we want to know why they have a convicted felon doing their parking.
Yeah, we need the spokesperson big time. Not only that, a convicted felon that supposedly still owes a shitload of money on a judgment. That's why he's blackmailing cars to pay this goddamn $100,000.
They are felonies, right?
Could we get Mark Trenner on to look up this patent and see if it's a real patent or is he just lying?
Who cares about that?
Well, if he puts it on his thing, then he's got a patent.
Who cares? What do you mean, one way or the other? Who cares? It doesn't do anything.
He's lying about that patent.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect anyone, one way or the other.
Well, it shows his credibility.
Yeah, but we haven't.
We already know his credibility. He
What I'm saying
blackmails.
is that we truly.
He blackmails people. It's immigrants from Peru. That's his MO. He doesn't like Peruvians.
Now that, like I said, Dan, that is like,
But it's more than a speeding ticket.
Should I throw out the speeding 10 to 19? No way, man. That just goes to show you that after he commits a crime, he speeds away.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. What's happening in your life? Hey, Suzanne, the phones show X's. We got to unlock them. If you're trying to get in, this is a holiday week, as they call it, a short week for many. We'll have shows on every single day, some best of shows. But you know, the great thing about this show is topics are what we call in the biz evergreen. Never goes away. Everything's the same as far as people getting ripped off. No one wants to get ripped off. That's not trendy. It's always that way. We also give solid advice for your problems, questions, and complaints. But I know that on Thanksgiving you may have a problem. And you're going to say, doggone it, Tom is off. But I'm going to give you my personal cell number for Thanksgiving, so if you have a problem, you call me, and I'll talk to you personally. It's 303. What, are you kidding me? No. You can call.
After you sent that email.
You can call 303-MARTINO, by the way. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And we do listen to that even on holidays. 303-MARTINO. I want to mention something. We got a lot of follow-ups to do. Is that what you're alluding to, Mark?
No, what I was alluding to is you went on some whackball's website and put my email in, and I have received numerous emails. So I may.
Who was that, though, Mark? Who was that?
They called up and they gave
now, I would
money
never do that for the general public.
Video.
I wouldn't do that for the general public. It was a video memory place.
That's right.
And he was abusive, extremely abusive to this consumer.
So where I'm going, though, is your cell phone number is 303.
Yeah, please. Now, here's the deal. I would never do that, give it out in public. But do you know, seriously, I will answer, we answer, unless it's a nut, we answer every call, look into every call at 303-MARTINO 24/7. And that automatically, by the way, is routed to the studio when we're on the air, then to our voicemail or office, depending on where we are. So welcome to the show. It's really the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Anywhere, anywhere, anywhere. And we love helping people. That's really the main purpose of this show, helping people. So we have a lot of people that help us help people. That's another good thing. If you want to be part of it, if you want to be a volunteer, we really do have deputies that we use from time to time. You must have heard them. Deputy Greg. Deputy Dan started out as a volunteer. He really did. Deputy Greg, Deputy Clint, and we have some other deputies. And really what happens is they get here as a volunteer and it springboards them into other things sometimes because they get so much great experience.
Deputy Dan turned out to be my muscle when I go out.
Hey, Deputy Dan is now doing our video production. Well, he doesn't do the editing. He just does the live stuff here, but I don't mean just. Then he does investigating. Dan, why did you volunteer? I forgot. I never really asked you. You heard me talking about it. Why'd you volunteer? You
that's just that. Yeah, I retired.
Yeah.
And then I heard you talking about it, and it sounded fun, and it was fun. I mean, like I said, I like what you do.
What was your background? Petroleum engineering?
Yes, yes.
And so you were retired and came in, and then he found himself a sideline. So we also talked about a lot of things going on. You know, the parking booting was our latest big case, and then we had the Thanksgiving dinners that we all volunteered for on Saturday. We're having another one tomorrow we want to plug because Pastor Lauren needs some help. This is a real deal. I always say that. Pastor Lauren has a full-time job, full-time, and then he's a pastor in addition to that. Every dime you donate goes to the intended cause. That's what I love. That's how we do it at the Help Center Foundation. Every dime. So what we do is we want to, I say we, Pastor Lauren and his congregation, his church, made up of homeless and those in need. He feeds them on special holidays. Thanksgiving, we had a dinner on Saturday. And then Mark and his family came, and I came with my kids, and here's the deal. Trust me, there are way many more people that were there and did more work than me. I got in a Johnny-come-lately maybe 4 years ago. Pastor Lauren and his wife work so hard for people.
I drove around that day with the coolest guy that's been volunteering there for about 3 years. I was driving the bus, picking up the homeless, and he was behind me giving out meals. But I got to tell you, he listens every day, and here's what impressed me about him. He's had back problems, multiple surgeries over the years, but he goes out there every year and volunteers.
Now, by the way, there are people that volunteer every week because Pastor Lauren also has a food bank every Sunday, and then they have periodic clothing drives, and it's wonderful. I rode around with a woman. We went out and delivered meals with Wanda, 72 years old. She doesn't look it. She looks around 55, and she's spunky. Wanda was on the street for 30 years. Drug addict, and then she said one day she just wanted to clean up, get better. She asked Jesus Christ for help. She said she met Pastor Lauren, and her entire life has changed. Hey, Pat, what's going on in your life? Pat?
Yes.
What's going on in your life?
I was one of those volunteers that came last Saturday.
So you heard about it on the show?
I heard about it on the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
We brought some stuff, but I brought my daughter and my 10-year-old
Did I see you on Saturday? Did you? I
met you on Saturday.
Good, good.
And that was the best experience we have ever had. And those people are so nice and gracious.
The real deal. That's what I say. No big mansions or giant churches or fancy cars. This guy he gives his all.
I agree. And the people, not one didn't say thank you. You could visit with them. They had the most interesting stories. And we would do that again any time to help. But my granddaughter was so tired, she fell asleep on the way home.
My kids, they look at me and say, Dad, these people have nothing. They get a shock. It's so good to see that. And to see how fortunate we are and that we can help others. Suzanne, of all of us, Mark and I drove around. Our kids, our daughters, Mark, your girl and mine, they were working pretty hard in the kitchen, but Suzanne was busting her chops. Did you see her in the kitchen?
I've never seen her cook in the kitchen before.
Whatever.
She was so, seriously, she was sweating and all this. I'm serious. She worked hard. And of course, there are so many wonderful people that have been doing this for years. Pastor Lauren, you want to plug tomorrow. We got a big meal tomorrow, right?
Yes, sure do, and appreciate you guys plugging it for us. We're going to be serving again from 11 to 4 tomorrow.
11 to 4.
Till the food runs out.
Okay, and, do we still need food?
Well, we probably could use some more yams, cranberry sauce, and olives.
Yams and cranberry sauce and olives. How are we doing with the other stuff?
And turkey gravy, I would say. I think we're doing pretty good. Obviously, the turkeys that we have thawing and we're cooking, finishing up cooking those. But if somebody wanted to bring a turkey, we've got a few people that we would still... if we had
so basically they can always call for more information, and we'll give that number out in a minute. But do you need volunteer drivers again to help deliver meals?
Yes, we do. Actually, what I've done for tomorrow we ended up serving over 600 meals on Saturday.
Wow.
And so tomorrow I've actually contacted a couple of over on Federal, there's some trailer parks and homeless, hotels over there that are pretty bad shape. I know from people who've been there. And I talked to them yesterday, and they've given us permission to bring meals to those places.
Oh, that's very good. So we need drivers, and I did my little SUV, my little Chevy Equinox. I was able to hold all the meals we needed to go on runs. You don't need a big van or anything. I think people don't understand. You can have a regular big car or SUV. Mark, you used your SUV, right?
No, I drove a bus, man.
Oh, you drove one of his?
I went down to the shelter all day, picked up people, and brought them back and forth.
Oh, you did people. Okay. All right. So, Pastor Lauren, you want people who have some cars and SUVs to help?
Yeah, that'd be great. And we also, we do have our shuttle. We don't have our driver available tomorrow. So if somebody is...
Okay, a driver for the shuttle like Mark did. And then you can always use money. I know you can. And you're too humble to ask for it. And Pastor Lauren's the only guy in the world that I feel comfortable handing $100 or $200 or whatever I can give him. And I know every penny will be used for good.
Clothing, too, man.
Oh, yeah. Now, you do a wonderful job with clothing. Oh, my goodness. Man, did I see people who needed clothing. I saw people with no shoes come up, literally sit down on the grass in front of the church, put on those shoes with a big smile. That's got to make you feel good. I mean, you're doing really, literally direct help. Direct help. You don't just talk about it. So, where do they call, Pastor Lauren? You give them, not that I don't love you, but give them your wife's number, Kathleen.
Okay. Actually, my wife is able to talk again, so she's doing better.
Good. She had a sore throat. Okay. Give us Kathleen's number.
303-916-3214.
Yeah, you're too busy, and she's busy too, but I know that she'll take the time to give them all the directions and all that. 303-916-3214. Please, please, please call Pastor Lauren if you have any ideas of what you can give. I'm gonna hit up Plumline Services over here. They're guests with mine today. And didn't Pepsi come through for you? I heard.
They did. Yeah, they did. First time ever. They were real blessing to us, so that was great.
That was so nice of them to donate stuff. And that's 303-916-3214. Tomorrow's the big dinner. They had one on Saturday. Please, please show up.
Tom, I can't volunteer, unfortunately, tomorrow, but count Plumline in for $500, and we'll send it over to Pastor Lauren.
Pastor Lauren, did you just hear that? $500 from Plumline Services.
Amazing.
They're
Thank
good.
you very much.
They're
God
good
bless
people,
you.
and that will help a lot. We'll get that over to you. Yes, that's wonderful. Mark's doing the show.
Coming back
tomorrow, so I can take that day off and help.
Listen, coming back, I'm kind of, you've taught me, so I'm teasing this.
Okay.
I've got to tell you stuff about Joel Perry, the boot guy, that's going to blow you away.
Yeah, remember the boot guy. I'm gonna bring you up to date on that story and give you the new stuff. We also have plumb line services in the house for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. No, we're not going to talk the whole show about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. But if you have questions, we are. Plus, Bob just likes coming in to help people. You just heard him toss in $500 for Pastor Lauren. It's a wonderful thing. Plumb line services. I've known Jeff and the boys over there for years and years and years, and they're just good people. They're here just to help out. And also we have a common man, Tom Anderson. He called in. He was a smarty. He knew a lot of stuff, and I like when I get smart callers who call up and they have information. I say, hey, why don't you come in one day? We'll talk to him and more coming up.
You don't need a bus license.
Yes, you do. Of course, for a big ass bus.
No, you don't.
Well, it's not big, it's a little license. It's a short bus.
No, that's too bad. There isn't a license. There is no special license for any vehicle. Only if you do it for commercial purposes.
You're used to driving the short bus.
I'm used to it. You only see is the accident.
Where are you getting your info on
So it doesn't matter the number of people you're carrying. If you carry more, I always thought it was more than 10 people you need a license.
You printed all this in. The license only to pay for hire.
What's on it?
I was going to have Daff call the registered sex offender.
Yeah,
Who is
where
that?
the hell do you find that?
Tom says we need to call Grove Apartments for the sex offender.
No, I never said sex offender.
Oh, what did you
felon.
Oh, convicted. That's why I'm over here going, where the hell are you getting your information?
I have no idea where that came from.
right.
Although, in my opinion, he looks like a sex offender.
Sorry, I thought that's what you were saying. Convicted felon.
No, we do want to call the apartment complex.
Did you find them on?
Here's what I'll bring it up on here. I've got a perfect idea how we're going to fucking
stand. I've not done any listen to find out what it is I'm supposed
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
We'll tell you on here.
Don't tell me while I'm in the elevator.
Send me his link. I'll look at it.
I'll send you his link, LinkedIn link.
I thought
You
you
know,
were
Bob,
on Facebook.
No,
my kids
I'm
could
not
use
good
new
at-
iPhones.
I'll try.
Oh, what?
Plumb line's feeling so generous lately.
You're suing.
I will look him up. Joel Perry with an I.
Homeless?
Forget and all kinds of icons.
iPhone for Mark's kids. What do you think, Dan?
You could start a go. Mark, you could start a GoFundMe site.
Actually, I should. That's what everybody else does. GoFundMe for Mark's iPhone.
Bart is the other Tom. That's right. And you went by, I'm going to, I'm Daphne. We spoke on the
Weekend
phone.
you're gonna spend at the shelter that helping out?
On those two maps, did you want me to choose the
I
one that I
look,
thought
dude, that was 7 hours of my life. That changed me forever.
You're right, why?
There you
You
go.
get good
Whichever one, more
Oh, I
areas,
saw
less areas.
fights. I was the one literally picking up. I picked up.
One is
30, you know how hard it is?
Okay.
You drive down in front of the Mission, and if you've been downtown where the homeless are, it's crazy,
Put it on your
man.
calendar.
It's like its own little
It's on
city.
the calendar.
And you talk them in to hopping on a bus and coming with you.
Really?
Yeah,
Make
it's
sure it's
crazy,
the right
man.
color.
And what do you think they're terrified of more than anything?
That you're gonna take them to the cops?
No, how they get back.
Oh.
Because they sleep there at night when it's cold.
Do they have their shopping carts? They want to bring
So I had to
shopping carts?
convince them, listen, we've got clothes, we've got food, we got everything. So after I brought a few back and they actually saw that people come back, then they started wanting to go. Yeah, but they're not one of them was all there. Not one of them was all there. Not one. They're all mentally ill, every one of them. Some way worse than others.
So when you pick them up,
One guy, the most terrifying part is I was bringing one guy back. He fell down on the bus, started making the strangest noises, and I'm going, okay, so what do? Do I drop him off at the fire department? Do I drop him off at the emergency room? I have no idea what to do. And then all of a sudden he stopped and got up and got off the bus. It was like mind blowing. And I'm like, okay, I just realized I have no idea what one of these people dropped dead. I literally have no idea. I'll drop them off and deputy dance your head. Every instinct in a human.
It's almost harder to remain homeless because you got to find meals. You work hard.
Oh my God, they work so hard.
Right, to find meals.
Carrying
Especially
this stuff
alcoholics and
around.
drug addicts. To find drugs every day is a chore.
Oh my
To find
God.
alcohol, how do they do it? They do it.
They wake up, they use the
I
sign, they
tell
work
the
all
story
day.
about a guy I saw on the street when I first moved to Denver 20 years later, saw on the street. Think about that. No dental, no doctor, no insurance, nothing, no savings. He's there every day. He's surviving. How do you do that? Shoes, shelter. I mean,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's what they want to do, though, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
One clear choice, garage doors. For your garage doors, if you need anything to do with a garage door, it's a clear choice. One clear choice. And Chappie and the gang, they really, really do a great job. If you have a broken spring and suddenly you can't open the door. By the way, people don't know this. Springs hold the door down. And so when you, so it wants to spring open automatically. So, the door lock and the opener holds it down. So without an opener, the door naturally wants to swing up. That's why it's so easy. You could never lift that door without a spring. It's wound so the tension is on when the door is closed. And then you release the tension as you open the door. That's why it's easy to open, and that's why a little motor can open it. Without a spring, that would never happen. Anyway, I digress. If you have anything to do with this garage door, they have openers starting at $299 with Wi-Fi compatibility, a battery close feature, time to close feature. Everything's smartphone compatible now. Okay, 303-565-6409, 565-6409. So, Plumbline Services in the house, welcome. We also want to talk about this parking thing very quickly. If you look on our Facebook, look on our YouTube, look on any of our pages, you'll see a reference to this woman who went parking at Grove Street or Grove Apartments, and her car was booted. Our main contention is not because this owner of this company tries to master manipulate people by clouding issues, okay? Whatever he says, here is our issue. We have no problem with enforcing parking rules anywhere. We never help people that park and say, I was only there for 5 minutes. If there's a no parking sign, if it's not legal, or if private property owners want to patrol and protect their own place. I have no problem with that. In fact, I think it's terrible how some people take all the parking spaces in a theater and they go to next door to the restaurant or vice versa. So bottom line is, we have no problem with parking enforcement. The problem we had with Park It Right at Grove Apartments. Now, this may be a Park It Right problem. It might be a Grove apartment problem. But here's the deal. They boot cars without warning. Now, they'll tell you, oh, there's plenty of warning. No. At the entrance, there's a sign that says immobilization techniques in use. I'm paraphrasing. Covered parking by permit only, and private property, no trespassing. And then it says parking rules are posted. So you drive in, not one space is marked other than some handicap spaces. Not one space. It doesn't say resident parking. It doesn't say visitor parking. It doesn't say no parking, residents only. No warning signs whatsoever anywhere. So our contention is, if they boot your car, it's completely and utterly arbitrary. This woman dropped in on her mother and sister who lives there, came out 3 or 4 hours later, her car was booted. Once Mark saw that there were no signs, no warnings, nothing, he called me. We decided to go over there and take matters into our own hands. We had the car towed, thanks to JJ, and then we had it towed to a shop, cut one link off of that boot. We did not destroy it, and then returned the boot. This guy went nuts saying that we destroyed personal property and they have every right to do what they do.
At 2 a.m. in the morning, I mind you.
Yeah, and he was posting on Facebook and on YouTube. Listen, private property can do what they want. There are no laws, by the way, that say what he did is wrong, so we have to use common sense. There are no laws regulating booting on private property. None. So we're not contending he broke the law. We're saying what he did is just logically not right. Common sense tells you that. So while he says we destroyed his personal property, we look at it a different way. We're saying that he vandalized her car and in fact did damage to it, to the rim and stuff. We undid that damage. That's our contention. There is no crime here, and if the police, he put in a complaint, do arrest us or me, we will fight this all the way to the Supreme Court. This is wrong. So, that's where we are today. But then yesterday, we put our people on a background check of this owner who never gave his name. We found it out.
Joel Perry. P-E-R-R-I.
And he used to own Mirage Towing.
Yep, or was one of the owners.
One of the owners of Mirage Towing. And Joel Perry has a very, very checkered past. Now, listen, you know how I feel about that. Anybody can be accused of anything, so we don't go there if somebody's just accused of something. I mean, but if you are accused and found guilty and literally have problems time and time and time and time and time and time and time again, then we think there's something there. So what did we say?
Well, I'd like to know why all these apartment complexes, and I want to put this out there, anybody that lives in an apartment complex using Park It Right, I want to hear from you live at Troubleshooter, because I'm going to personally visit these apartment complexes and figure out why a felon is over there.
Convicted felon.
A convicted felon. Let's just talk convictions. Ready? Let's talk this. I'm not even going to go into, like you said, accusations, because I'd have to pull out a book. No. But let's talk assault in the third degree, domestic violence, threat to persons, driving while impaired. I love this one.
Convictions.
Convictions. Theft, over $15,000. Guess how much it is? Over $100,000 he owes somebody. This guy still owes money right now, not to mention unsatisfied judgments from the state of Colorado, the Department of Revenue. So you apartment complexes out there.
And he's still under a suspended sentence.
That's what it says. And that's just Colorado. I'll have the rest of the world very soon. So Mr. Joel Perry, Mr. Consumer Advocate, as he called himself yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I got to tell you something, buddy. I hope all these apartment complexes understand who they're dealing with, because they will soon.
And he said he's going to come after me legally.
Oh,
I hope he does, because I want to lay open all of his books, all of his past, because that becomes open to me in discovery. So, Mr. Perry, you want to pick a fight? Bring it, brother, bring it.
Once again, anybody out there that lives in an apartment complex that has those Park It Right signs around there.
Now, I want to say this
live at
in the interest of fairness, Mark.
Go ahead.
I want to know. Now, I think he has some responsibility here, a lot.
I'll tell you what, if he apologizes to that lady for his actions, I'll be happy to back off.
No, we're not going to back off. Here's what I want them to put up warning signs. But I'm wondering, really, and I want people to think about this, is it the apartment complex? They didn't put up the signs. Maybe he's saying, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'll do my part. You do your part. He's the one that attacked us. That's why we're coming up after him. And also, he would not give this lady a break when she said there were no signs. Maybe he thinks there are signs. Maybe the Grove Apartments told him, yes, we have signs all over the place. I mean, if you run this service, is it your responsibility to make sure? I say yes. It's your responsibility.
He's the one. I don't know who boots it. Who boots it? Someone that works at the apartment complex?
I don't know. But
I'd like to know that, too.
But the point is that the lack of signage, whose responsibility is that? Or who takes blame for that? The lack of signage. So if anyone else lives in a place patrolled by a private booting company or Park It Right, either one, both, or one, just let us know. Any private booting companies, because we're taking this to the state legislature, and I'm hoping lawmakers are listening. This is plain wrong.
I want to put them out of business.
Towing is controlled. Towing is controlled by the state, even on private property. I want to see booting controlled, private booting. It has to be, because you have to have signage. It's just common sense. You cannot arbitrarily just decide.
And last thing, why won't Joel come on and talk to us? Come on, Joel Perry. You're big man on Facebook at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Anonymously.
By the way, did I mention driving while ability impaired? So at 2 a.m., who knows what he's doing. But my God, man, come on. 303
Karen.
Martino right now.
Karen, what's going on, Karen?
Hi, I just wanted to call and let you know that I have used your referral list.
Oh, well, thank you. I do appreciate it. I really do.
And it was Sheridan Auto Tech a couple of weeks ago.
Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech. What do you think about those guys?
Awesome. They rotated my tires for free.
Good.
And then I also used One Clear Choice Garage.
That is so cool. I'm very, very happy.
And I just wanted to say you guys rock. And I liked when you went to bat for that woman.
Well, thank you, and we really mean what we do. Speaking of which, Simply Floors, okay? Simply Floors, I have to tell you about. They have some holiday specials that'll blow your mind. Simply Floors. Buddy Mitchell is such a great guy. He owns it, lock, stock, and barrel. He has a few employees. He keeps overhead down. What he wants to do is compete with the big boxes. He's found a way to do it. Has a showroom at 52nd and Ward, and that's it. Everything else is done in your home. So if you want someone to come to your home, go to simplyfloorsinc.com, make an appointment. You make your own appointment. They'll come. They offer free designer services. They also will bring all the samples with them. But when you want to make the deal, you can go to the showroom if you want to go there and see the big bolts and stuff and all the samples, 52nd and Ward. But go first to simplyfloorsinc.com. You'll save 30, 40, sometimes half of what these big stores charge.
You want me to put his name by him or just his picture?
What's that?
So here's his picture.
Bob is very nice of you to buy that.
When I Google,
Owner of.
when I Google Joel Perry Park It Right, a picture comes up. Yeah, that picture comes up. So that's his wife on her Facebook. I can't say for sure. I did email you this too, Tom.
That's him.
I can't say. I could
That's
never
him.
like
That's him.
swear to it, but it's him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I found this on his Facebook.
I made him look a little fatter.
He needs to come out. He needs to apologize to that woman.
Mark, I sat, pen in hand,
Waiting
He doesn't look like a
waiting
bad
for you
guy.
to tell me what you want to
I
know.
want you to call every apartment complex in the state of Colorado.
He doesn't look like
Choose
a
one.
bad guy.
Do you speak Pig Latin?
Look, I don't want to
Say
make this
Louis.
personal. I don't want to make this personal.
Well, then he's making it personal.
No, he is.
So really, what do you want me to do?
I love when people say we
Can
don't
I go
have the facts.
downstairs?
I have never done a story in my life without the facts, ever, not once.
I told her to Google Joel Perry mugshot. See if there is one.
That's a good idea.
I have them once in a while.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Really, what I want you to do is call the apartment complex Grove
Yeah.
and get a comment of who they're using. A guy
Why?
with this kind of rap sheet.
Okay.
Why are they using
Why are they using a parking company that doesn't put signs up, and on top of that, the owner is a
No,
convicted
we asked them,
felon?
why don't they have adequate warning signs?
Right. I left a message yesterday, still have not heard back from them. I will try again. It goes right to voicemail. But we're in a weird week. A lot of people are out of town.
Giving them a break, yeah.
You want his email?
You have his email?
Yeah, joel@parkerwright.net.
Joel@parkerwright.net. Let's give his email.
Is any of these him? Dan, do any of these look like him?
So my husband,
Here's, this is Joel Perry.
Guy up on the right,
we had a
left there.
Him?
where the maid came in to the. He went to turn off the.
If you do it on his, yeah, Joel Perry.
Oh, yeah.
So he's
Park
like,
it right.
oh, maybe I'll call somebody else. Let me just see how far. So my son was dug down 6 feet, stairs to get down there, and he fixed the whole thing.
Oh, is that right?
I'm like MacGyver. I mean,
I didn't see-
seriously,
I
he
didn't see
had
that one
steps
picture,
going down so he
basically.
could get down there easily. I'm like, ah, but he's.
I told you, though, anybody in the towing business
Well, he did something.
since
He can do all that
1973.
You did
stuff.
say that.
I go, call phone line, call him. He goes, no,
Yeah,
it's
so,
just
so
a.
Joel Perry,
contest.
Arvada, Colorado.
Here we
Pay
go,
my
Hampton
Christmas
Villas.
lunch. That's a contest. Get out of the hole in the front yard.
He has a daughter there. Let's not give out any home addresses or anything.
No, we want that. If it's really his daughter and not a kidnapped child,
In your opinion.
in my opinion. I think the guy's a fucking scumbag. You can always tell them when they rant and rave in a long thing like that. Is that not a Kalen Eccles?
Oh,
move?
yeah.
I mean, it's Kalen Eccles syndrome.
I'm gonna do this picture. He's right next to his Park and Ride.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'll put that
Beautiful.
I need you to send all that to me, and I'm going to do an article on him.
Okay.
We have 5 of the most popular colors for thousands less than our competitors.
And I got there was one on here, I didn't know how to read it. I've got Joe looking at it. I want to see where it stands. I think he still owes a shitload of money if I'm reading it right. To the tune of
You may find, though, that he doesn't own Parker, right? That is
$97,000.
I think his wife owns the company.
I looked it up, Colorado Secretary of State. All I saw, he was not the
registered.
Yeah, so I don't know who owns it. But you're probably right. But it looks like he owed $123,000, and there's been $26,000 dispersed. So he still owes basically $100,000.
Mark, I don't have any of these come to bank. Can you believe that? I don't have it. I gotta have it.
Okay, that's a good picture there, right there.
Let me dig it up. Well, all you need is the dates.
I really just need that. No. I just need the landing page and the phone number. What phone number are they using? I really need to use that. I need to know what right now, actually.
Rockies Autos, 63rd and Federal. Rockies open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, except for Thanksgiving, and they have some Black Friday deals that'll blow your mind. They have all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, especially for the winter, plus anything you want. Let Shagman play Santa Claus for you. He loves doing that. He always gets very festive and starts slashing prices. But the main deal is this. They don't really have, like, some of these dealers, those fake sales and all those fake, must sell, or the bank mandates a sale, because nobody can order them to do anything. They own every single car, lock, stock, and barrel. You have such a variety of price, models, features, and colors, and then a variety to choose from when it comes to financing. 40 lenders. They get you 100% finance before you leave, with approved credit, of course, and then you're out the door. Even some challenge credit gets through. They try what they can to honestly and ethically get you the best deal possible. Go see them. 303-426-4646. Carol, what's going on with you, Carol? What's happening?
Hi. My question is, I'm buying my sister's car, and I'm flying into Chicago tomorrow. And she's buying a brand new car where she lives. And the plates on the car that I'm buying are now going to be on her car. What can I do to be able to drive it back to Colorado?
Is she in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. You have to get a temporary plate. Now, a lot of people would just take their own plates and put it on there, but technically that's not correct. Now, Suzanne, let's call either someone at Blinker.com or someone at Purifoy to ask the proper way to do this when you're buying a car out of state. She's buying a car and taking it back here. How does she get a temp tag? And does she owe any money on that car, your sister?
No.
Okay. Hold on and we'll get you an answer, okay? We'll get you an answer. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Bob Logan, Plumline Services. What's the newest product right now? Not what you want to sell, but what is the newest product right now in HVAC? Anything? For me, I've heard of two-stage furnaces, but then there's one called continually modulating. So that means it has all kinds of speeds, right? It just goes up and down like a volume control?
Right, exactly.
Is that brand new, or is that I just found out? I mean, I guess I never noticed them. I noticed two-stage. I never noticed modulating.
Modulating has been on the market for a few years now,
okay.
right?
So it's not
But like everything else that's brand new, it's
an electric motor.
That's exactly right. A lot like the gas pedal on your car. You can press it down.
Oh, Bob, what's on your mind? Bob?
This is Bob. Yep.
Hey, Bob, I want you to tell us your problem, man. It's good to talk to you. And I also want to tell you we have another Tom here. He's my common man, and I want him to chime in. Tom Anderson. Tom, thank you for being here, by the way. You called in about about why did you know about back doors on a store, that they have a delay on them?
I've worked in retail for about 30 years, Tom.
What did you do in retail?
Retail investigations.
Wait, so were you, like, you walked around the store?
That was part of my job, but I also managed store detectives as well.
I want to talk about that. Hey, Bob, so go ahead with your problem, sir.
No, Tom, I just want to find out if I got a small claims case.
What is it?
I had a gentleman working on my 1999 Chevy Silverado pickup, and the gentleman that worked on it, he's a mechanic at a shop that I know, so it's kind of like a private individual. It's not through a shop itself.
Okay, it's just, wait, it is a private individual is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like through a shop.
That's fine. Okay, so you have a mechanic that worked on your...
Yeah, he was doing my brakes on my truck.
Right.
And then somehow or another, he ended up damaging my truck.
How did he damage it?
You know, he gave me a story about one of his nieces or nephews falling off the picnic table when he was backing up my truck. Of course, the door was open, and then it kind of like bent a bracket on the inside of the door, and then also dented my fender. So
well, it's pretty easy, Bob. Pretty easy. He needs to fix it. What year is this?
It's a 1999 Chevy Silverado, and it's very well taken care of.
Well, no, I understand. He needs to fix it. I mean, is he disputing that?
No. He's actually in the process of trying to get it fixed for me. But I just want to cover my what.
Yeah.
As far as what I can do after So.
Well, okay. Well, really, what you do is you give him a chance to get it done. And then, basically, if you don't like it, I mean, I don't understand the question. Yes, you do have a small claims case. You have a case to bring for damages if there are damages. But what are you getting at? Do you think he's not going to fix it?
Well, I don't know. Like I say, it happened the 11th, and it's already been, a week and a half, give or take. So
what I would do, is he offering to fix it, or did he say he would pay for it?
No, he said he's offering to fix it and get everything taken care of for me. So.
And when did he say he would do it?
No, he said right away he was going to do it.
Okay.
And like I say, he trained there for a while. I couldn't even close my door. So he got the gentleman that's going to take care of it. To straighten up the door a little bit.
Here's what I would do. I would go get the paperwork, and I would, if I were you, I'd get the paperwork, and I would fill it out and get ready. But just hold off, and then you're ready to file and have somebody serve him, or you, with small claims court, you're allowed to mail it. But I would have somebody serve him, then he knows you mean business. You can't serve him. Somebody unrelated to the case must serve him. And that's the way I would handle it. Now, Carol, we're still trying to get an answer for you buying your sister's car. Suzanne's on the phone with that. Then we have someone with a health insurance question, I believe, with Cobra. Cobra is continuing coverage after you leave an employer. Here's the deal, though, with Cobra. Nowadays, individual insurance, I know you're going to say, no. It has come down in price. Now, I don't mean comparison to what Obamacare was. I'm talking about it used to be that when you went from corporate coverage to individual coverage, there was a big spread. That spread is no longer there. Everyone pays about the same. So Cobra really loses a lot of its benefits, but we'll talk about that too coming up. Do you have something, Mark?
Yeah, real quick, Deputy Daff, if you're listening, I did get one in at live at troubleshooter.com. In the Hampton Villas apartments actually use parking rights, so let's notify them about Joel.
Okay, this I really need to tell you about, and that is stem cell therapy. The real deal. I so appreciate Centeno Schultz. Among the original clinics in the country, he claims to be the first in the country to do living stem cell therapy. Now, he harvests those stem cells from your fat cells or from your bone marrow. Centeno Schultz, also known as Regenix, in Broomfield. We're privileged to have them right here. They have vast experience with like 14,000 cases behind them over the years on knees, hips, back, shoulders, hands, and they have found they can repair most ACL tears with a needle instead of a knife. Insist on real MDs, real doctors. They have orthopedic and pain management doctors. Insist on imagery for your shots. They use guided imagery. And insist on living stem cells. Remember, when a chiropractor hires a nurse and has amniotic fluid shipped in and they claim it's stem cell therapy, they're lying to you. It is not stem cell therapy. Centeno Schultz, Real Living Stem Cell Therapy, 303-963-9201, 303-963-9201.
Guys seems to be jumping the gun on a small trailer space.
From the L&L Heating Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
So let's
start with the drive up in the high country. There's a wreck on the westbound side of I-70 between the Eisenhower Tunnel and Silverthorne. The highway is open. Watch out for slow speed.
Give information that people would normally just find, just normal information. It's not like they would find it, but most people won't investigate. I would like you to go to your memory banks or your just things people ask a lot. What questions do you go on?
Big crash
I mean,
northbound.
that's the kind of thing I want to talk about.
And now getting word of a crash south.
The less commercial it sounds, the better.
The weather forecast. Both sunny later on today. The
Because
high
this
near
is a
51.
show
Right now overcast and 37. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How. This report is brought to you by the Broadmoor.
December holiday shows at the Broadmoor features a new headliner, Debbie Boone, gathered the family for a festive performance. Visit Broadmoor.com for their classic Broadmoor.
Boy, this guy's been arrested in almost every damn city as well. I mean, this is really amazing, Tom. You ready for this? Listen to this. This is insane. Inglewood Police, Glendale Police, Aurora Police, Commerce Cities Police, Thornton Police, Fort Morgan Police, Denver Police, Denver PD, South Logan County. That's amazing. That's like, this guy gets around all of Denver Metro.
Money in your pocket each and every month. So why not let the Denver-based mortgage consultants at American Financing make those savings happen through a simple loan refinance?
Misdemeanor,
Their original lender
felony,
can help you. Chances are American
misdemeanor.
Did he not think we were? Did he not know we were going to go after him?
God, I missed some of these. This is right from the CBI.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Well, they're not speeding 10 to 19 over.
And you might be able to close
And then,
10 days. Call now.
disturbing the peace. I
don't think I'll be doing much flying today.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Fisher Real Estate.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Now, you've heard me
Flight
talk a lot
conditions
about
different
stem
for a
cell
plane than
therapy.
they are
I've
a
done
chopper.
extensive research,
Well,
which
they're all-
led me to Centennial Schultz
They
Clinic right
all
here
the
in
same
Colorado.
except
They're internationally
helicopters
recognized
can
for
fly
their
in
work
much
with
lower
stem
ceilings
cells. They're all MDs,
and much lower
working with
visibility
true living
because
stem
we have the
cells
ability to
harvested
go
from your
slow
own fat or
and
bone
to
marrow,
stop
then
and to go
strategically
under
delivered
and
with
go around.
Mark, Jack forwarded you an email from Sam.
I'm looking at it.
Has he got a record?
Oh, we've already talked about it. He's got a huge record.
Is he violent or anything?
Yeah, he's got third-degree assaults and
shoulders,
he's got all kinds of...
But and also winds don't affect us the same. Because remember, airplanes have to land on a runway.
Hey, it says right on their
Runways
website,
are aligned.
greater 100% greater residence.
But every once in a while, you'll get a weird
Well,
cross.
How can we have
There's
this
unsatisfied people.
There's no unsatisfied, they have no parking.
If the wind's coming here and the
It says on
fan's
their
here,
website right here.
and there's buildings all over, I don't have to take a crosswind. I can do this.
25 years. First time buyer,
I can land
seller,
into the wind, but going down that way. So you never really have to take off in adverse conditions. I mean, I guess there are times when obstructions and stuff would force you
See if
to
you
take
can
off.
find something on Parking Authority, LLC.
But really, they're so
That's another,
diverse.
see, I think there they do find.
Visibility still would play a factor.
Yeah, they find something flying way less visibility.
He's part owner.
And also, if it is truly IFR, instrument flight conditions, if it is,
Totally
instrument flight rules,
ticketing, collection.
the helicopter,
Quicken Loans, America's #1
almost all helicopters are around because there are very few helicopters that are really equipped for IFR.
It's just another service.
Mine's not. Most are not.
Aren't they? How about the ambulance ones?
They're all equipped. They're all equipped.
But that's really about it.
I don't know anyone else because they're so ungodly expensive. Because a requirement in a helicopter to have IFR is an autopilot. Really? Now, you want to talk about
Hey, Daphne.
autopilot. Can you imagine putting a chopper into a hover and letting the autopilot do it?
I know where he lives now. I know his house.
happy and healthy.
Yeah,
It says basic service is at no charge to the property since the violator will pay for
IFR on
it.
your machine.
So basically, they just do it,
IFR.
and they don't charge. Now, is there a
Could be about
kickback to them?
150,000.
You're on 630K house.
I wonder if his wife Shelley owns it.
Pardon me, Tom, I have Integra on, and Rod Busher put me in touch with someone I'm going to call for that other one.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Let's talk to Ken, who has a question about Cobra. Right, Ken? What's happening, sir?
Hey, my daughter is switching jobs. She's actually has left her first place of employment and has moved into the second one.
Was she provided health insurance with the first employer?
She was.
She was on group. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the insurance at her second employer won't start until the first week of January.
So she has what's called a life-changing event, which would qualify her to get some kind of temporary coverage. Also, there's something called Cobra. Cobra is weird, though. It really is weird. And it's expensive, even though you're supposed to get it at the rate the employers pay. You still have to pay both parts now, not just their part. I mean, not just your part, but their part too. And many times it's easier to get a catastrophic temporary plan than it is to get Cobra. Now that's my opinion. I want to ask though John Jones with Integra Insurance. His opinion, he's an insurance broker, and I recommend insurance brokers in this climate of health insurance because it's so complicated and you don't pay a dime more to use them. So, John, in general, does it even pay to use Cobra anymore?
In some cases, yes.
Okay, why? Because when you
products now have caught up with group coverage, in some cases rate-wise.
Okay.
So, yes, we've had people on Cobra that actually came in cheaper.
Okay, and that means they're paying both the employer share and the employee share, right?
That's correct.
But it could be cheaper than an individual plan depending on a number of factors. I want to know this, though. How long can they have Cobra?
18 months.
You know, John, here's the reason I thought Cobra initially existed is because before Obamacare, if you got fired from a company policy or got fired or had a change of life and you had to get an individual plan, it wouldn't cover pre-existing. Therefore, the Cobra would give you an opportunity to stay on a plan that still covered pre-existing. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. Nowadays, if they cannot find coverage, isn't it easy to get, they don't want Cobra. Isn't it easy to get that in-between temporary stuff?
Yeah, exactly what you recommended, Tom. I'd strongly recommend I have no doubt how old his daughter is.
Ken?
28.
And 28. Has she considered Cobra coverage?
Well, the reason I'm considering it is, as I read through the policy, she's got 45 days to decide whether or not she wants it, and if she decides she wants it, it goes retroactive back until her last day of employment.
Of course it does.
So if she doesn't need it for the next 45 days, why would I pay for it
You know, John, he brings up a good point.
No,
that seems kind of
100%, Ken, if she could get to January the 1st. And will her new company provide her health insurance at that point?
Yeah.
So do you mean to tell me, John, that with Cobra, I can wait, and if I get sick or have an injury, I can then implement it at that time, and it'll go retroactive?
That's correct.
Wow.
There's that grace period in there.
Well, that seems to me the way to go, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, it saves me like $1,500.
And why do you say you? She's 28.
Well, yeah, I know, but
she's your girl. I know. I'm just kidding.
You know,
so
are different than
that. But catastrophic plans are also available, and they're pretty darn good too. Integra Insurance Group can tell you all about those. 303-466-5500. 303-466-5500. IntegraInsurance.com. It's unusual to do commercials about this because if you're an addict, you're not going to listen. I hope you would. Meanwhile,
this commercial is mainly aimed go to your folder. Yes, sir. Go to non-traditional endorsements. I don't know why I put it there. It sounded right. And then you'll see Become the Banker.
You have a love for people and for you did that?
Yeah.
Call the Raleigh House.
Thank you.
They want to help you.
Is that where you would have put
in
him?
your life,
I'm
whether
curious.
it's alcoholism, cocaine.
No, that's good.
Ecstasy, meth.
We could have put them in regular ones because they're buying spots, right? But it's weird.
Even marijuana.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they only run
If you have a loved one who is
a week before each month. They only run 1 week a month. I mean, it is a little bizarre. Or different.
720-893-5555.
We're looking at that for your banker. You guys talking about it?
Oh, man.
I like that idea.
And he addressed that other thing, Mark, that we can address next time he's on.
720-893-5559.
This is Denver Sun.
Yeah, he told me that's an old link that's different. I talked to him a little about it.
Michael Brown afternoon.
He said those, the new ones don't work that way.
Yeah, that's basically what he told me.
This is a Fox News alert. Charlie Rose is fired. I'm Paul Stevens.
Oh, my God.
CBS saying it has terminated.
Rose is a rose.
Allegations of sexual misconduct first reported in the
Every rose has a thorn.
Rose did apologize, but says some of the claims are inaccurate. CBS
Oh, come on. You have that many.
He thought they wanted to see him naked.
What, there's something wrong with that, as you put it?
Apparently.
I'm always showing off. I'm always getting naked in front of our producer.
You are.
Does iHeart have a problem with that?
Rose's interview show on PBS is also.
Who was in here that one time and she walked by and I smacked her butt and I looked at her like, holy shit, you can't do that. It was great.
He should have said, we got a thing here.
Saying that it's time to.
Use this as
Normally I wouldn't.
time, as a tipping point, if you will, to address
It is Hampton. I sent it to you, Daphne, in an email. It's Hampton Vista or something like that.
the diminishment of women.
I got to tell you though, this thing is crazy. All these guys that play grab ass is just amazing. And it's everything. It's government workers. It's Hollywood.
Anybody ever for anything like that? You have.
But just remember, we're talking millions of people.
Wow.
Small percentage, but let's say.
No, but it seems to be industry standard in some. Hollywood was the one that. I mean, everybody.
Absolutely. Well, they knew it. You heard about that.
And then I'm telling you, I think a lot more of these congressmen.
You know, starts off asking for a date, they say no, and then they won't let her rest.
I think,
and it's,
than, because they,
you know,
what
it
can
becomes
they
an
say?
infatuation
You want
thing.
this
It's like,
future
dude, she
job?
told you she doesn't like you, she doesn't want to date you, stop asking her out. Next time you ask her, I'm going to have to let you go.
He's had to fire somebody.
But he was just asking her out. It wasn't like he was doing
No, but he persisted when she said no.
Yeah, but as far as like...
No means no.
Yeah.
Oh, our buddy couldn't get a PUC license. That's why he decided to go into the boot business. Because they would no longer give him a tow truck. Huh. Very interesting. He's worked for Mirage, he's worked for Wyatt's, he's worked for Extreme, he's worked for Parking Authority. No, he's maybe partial owner. And now he's got in trouble everywhere he's been. And now he can't get a PUC. And then I've got a number on a guy that will give me all the dirt I ever need to know on this fucker. Excuse my French. Welcome to the party, Joel.
This report is brought to you by Walgreens. Chance of showers today in a mix of clouds and sun. High 50.
God, you'd think with a pass like that, you'd just shut the fuck up and let time roll on.
Hey, Tom, this is Todd Terry. Hey, I wanted to follow up with you about this meniscus problem I have on my knee. You said you had done a couple of them.
I do the hook. It goes straight. I can make it straight from there every time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the hook.
No, the sky hook was...
Right, sky hook is what he did. It was a hook.
No, the sky hook was Jordan, wasn't it?
No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem made it famous.
Lunch? That's lunch.
No.
You owe him lunch.
I'm talking sky hook SKI. Different sky hook.
Attention, this is
Well, this guy's got a ton of
Are you
that.
interested in making some extra cash buying real estate tax liens? Then listen to this. The Government Tax Lien Network is offering a free tax lien kit, which contains 2 DVDs and a step-by-step report that will show you how
Nancy
to
Pelosi's gonna get in on this sexual harassment.
35%
What's her name from the congressman from Denver?
Oh, DeGette?
Yeah.
She was on today, too.
What did she say?
She said it happened to her.
Really?
Yeah. California congressman.
You know it's a Democrat. They're always Democrat. That one guy in Alabama, I think that's a whole shyster move. Nah, he had too many people come out.
And there's another guy, one lady who you said you liked her lawyer.
This hour brought to you by
They won't give up
suggestions.
your bill.
Yeah, but there's like 8 women that come out.
I know, but here she's saying all this stuff. And they won't
Gloria.
give it up. Why do you like her?
Yes, because we have two.
She's a good attorney. She does good things. Why do you dislike her? How's that?
Who? Just like who?
In my opinion.
Gloria, what's her name?
Allred?
Vanderbilt, yeah. He doesn't like her. I think she's a great attorney.
I like her because she's feisty, and I also like Leslie Abramson.
Yeah.
Who
was Gore's attorney during the 2000 deal? He's probably one of my favorite attorneys in the world. Yeah.
Al Gore had an attorney?
Oh my God, they were in front of the Supreme Court arguing who was going to be president. God, what is his name? I love constitutional law, man. They actually opened up the cameras, and I watched that every day when they were arguing in front of the Supreme Court over hanging chads.
So here on Perry says, I founded Mirage Recovery
David.
Service in 1987, making it one of the premier towing companies performing police impound tows, sold in 1992.
This guy's been fucking people since 1973. Over 1 million booted. David Spade. David
Spade.
No, it's not David Spade. Can you imagine him in front of the justices? That would be great.
Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by Become the Banker. They were on the show yesterday, and a few people emailed me and said, oh, Tom, it can't be that good, and they brought up some stuff about whole life that had nothing to do with this. We'll address that another time. I want to tell you, Become the Banker is the system where you buy life insurance, a small amount. You buy enough life insurance to make it legal. The object is not to buy life insurance. The object is to overfund the policy. The government allows you to overfund life insurance, and everything you put in grows tax-free. You have a guarantee of 4%. Now, that's as good as most annuities, but this is guaranteed, and you get dividends on top of it, guaranteed. In addition to that, you can borrow from it at any time you want, at any time with no penalty, no income tax, and pay it back with interest. That interest you put in is also growing because it goes back into your account. So you make not only the 4%, but you make interest that you pay yourself. You know, when you buy something like a washer or dryer, you put on a credit card, you're paying 14% interest or 21%, or you buy a car and you have car payments. All of that would be going to yourself. You'd be financing your own stuff. It goes into an account, and then you get to use that later on in life for retirement. You can draw out regular paychecks and never, ever pay tax on it, ever. And the policy loans that you've accumulated in your old age are paid off by the death benefit. To me, it is a wonderful, safe investment for any portfolio. So if you want to find out more, I want you to just ask any question you want. You can call this number or go and look at the video and sign up for a seminar. They're next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. BecomeTheBanker.info. Okay, do that. BecomeTheBanker.info. Please look at the video and then look at and sign up for a seminar or call and talk to someone now. 303-779-6600. 303-779-6600. BecomeTheBanker.info. Okay, so somebody asked, how do you buy a car out of state and take it home? I'm going to pay for it. There's no lien on it. And I said, you know, you ought to call Blinker.com. So we called Blinker. Blinker is an app that you can go out and take a picture of your car, and it'll tell you everything about that car. You take a picture of your license, and then you go into their data bank, and you can sell your car there free of charge, and they do all the paperwork. All of the documents are signed online with a smartphone. In fact, when you buy a car, you can go through there and finance it as well. So it turns all of the car sellers into mini dealers because they have all the professionals doing the paperwork and financing the car. And if you're doing the buying, it's like going to a dealer. It's wonderful. Now, did you have
yeah, I just wanted, over the weekend, I wanted an approximate value of Suzanne's car.
So you took a picture of
it. I download Blinker, I took the picture of it, and I know what that car sells for in this area. It's an incredible thing.
You can also refinance.
Oh, yeah, and it's incredible. If you're selling a car, there's no better way to do it.
Now, Deb LaMarine is with Blinker.com, so we're going to ask her. Carol wants to buy a car, and you can ask Carol any other questions you need. She wants to buy it from her sister. What state is she in, Carol?
She's in Illinois. She's in Chicago.
And you're paying cash for it?
Yes.
Okay, so Deb, what does she do? First of all, can she use Blinker for this in Chicago?
Yes, they could list the car in Illinois, and she could buy it through Blinker. We would secure the funds.
And you would do all of the electronic stuff and all of it signed online?
Mm-hmm.
That would make sure, Carol, you have all the proper paperwork for DMV.
Okay, this is the thing, though. She's buying a car the day that I'm buying her car. She's going to the Toyota dealership and changing her plates over.
I know.
So how does that work?
Well, okay, that won't be affected if she gets the app Blinker and follows the directions, takes a picture, then you go on and buy it from her immediately, because you don't have to go on immediately. I mean, she can pick you instead of someone else. But here's what happens. All the paperwork is done by Blinker. Everything is done. When she goes to buy her car, the funds will be in her bank account. The plates have nothing to do with it. She takes the plates off and puts them on. I don't know how they do it in Michigan. But, Deb, what does Carol do? Does Blinker help arrange a temp tag? How does does Blinker stay out of that? What does she do about a temp tag?
What she would do, my suggestion is for her to go to a local county office in Illinois, and almost every state has the availability for anybody to get a temporary tag. They're called transport tags.
Okay.
And they afford you the ability to drive the car from one state to another.
Okay.
I can't do that in Colorado?
No, because we don't have the information on the vehicle. Colorado will not issue you a transport tag because they don't have the bill of sale and all that other stuff. But every state...
Well, hold on. What if her sister listed the car right now, and then Carol was in Colorado, went on and bought it on the app, and then all the information she had, can she take to a local office and say, I'm going to get this car, and can she carry with her that transport tag from Colorado?
It would be dependent on the county. Some counties are willing to do that, others are not. The majority of the counties are going to recommend that she go to Illinois and get a transport tag.
Carol, why are you resisting that? It doesn't sound like it's difficult for you to do once you get all the paperwork.
I don't know if I have the time. I'm flying out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And then what?
Flying to Chicago.
Yeah, and then you want to drive home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how you got to do it, though. You got to go to the DMV there.
This is something Deb would never recommend, and this is something I'm not recommending. But what I'm saying is, some people would take the tags from their car in Colorado, and they would put them on that car and drive it back home. I'm saying you can get in trouble. Yes, you can. But a lot of people have done that.
Do you know there's police cars right now that drive around that the camera's always moving, looking at the vehicle license plate, seeing if that vehicle's stolen or matches up. It's all automated in some place now.
So, Deb, so Blinker, though, is still of help because you guys would take care of all the documents. How does someone, when they use Blinker, let's say her sister takes a picture of the car, she puts it up there, Carol goes online right from here and buys it, the money's transferred into her sister's account, all the documents are signed. Carol goes to Michigan and wants to get a temp tag. what does she present in Michigan and again back here at DMV? Her cell phone? Does she say, here, I bought it, here are the documents?
If she used Blinker, we would do the research and make sure she had every piece of document that she needed to go get it.
On her cell phone, though? I mean, literally.
No.
Does she show them the PDFs, or does she...
They send them to DMV, don't you?
No, we would actually instruct her to print them up so that.
And is it easy to print up, Deb?
Yes.
Like you go on Blinker and you have your paperwork. Do you guys keep the deal for a while in your system?
It's kept for infinity.
So she can go and look up her deal and download and print the documents.
I would be more than happy to specifically email them to her so that she would have easier access to them.
Carol, man, they're not.
Okay.
I'll tell you this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can my sister go to the motor vehicle department today in Chicago and get a transportation?
Oh, that's a good question.
For me?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because you're going to have to. They're going to want to see your identification. They're going to want to see proof of insurance on the vehicle that you're purchasing, and they'd want to see a signed bill of sale.
I got an idea. Why don't you keep those tags on the car when you drive it back, then it matches the car, then you mail them to your sister.
I already asked her that. She won't do it.
That's not a good thing either.
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying it's the best thing.
So, Deb, we really appreciate your help. And, Carol, I hope you see the benefit of an app like Blinker because they don't charge consumers a dime for this. They don't charge. I mean, no matter what.
And if she doesn't want to part with all the cash, she can finance it right through the app.
I know it. If you wanted to finance that car, Carol, did you know you can do it through Blinker, and it doesn't affect your sister at all. She gets a check directly today. You can qualify in 5 or 10 minutes. If you're paying cash because your sister or you didn't know how to get a loan on a car that you're buying used from an individual, this is where Blinker comes in. They'll get you the loan. I'm telling you. Here's what you do. Go to Blinker.com. Try to explain it to your sister. If we have to, we'll call and help. Blinker.com.
Or download it right from the app.
Yeah, that's
the store, whatever.
Right. Go to Blinker.com or go on the App Store. That's what Mark's saying, and buy it.
Hey, quick
or the Google Play Store. Yes.
Quick update. Another update on Joel. Mr. Park It Right. Check this out.
Can we do it right after this?
We can.
Okay. He has another update on Joel Perry, P-E-R-R-I, Park It Right, who has really, said he's coming after us, so we decided to do a little defense work, and we found all kinds of violations. He's a convicted felon. I believe those are felonies. Are they felonies?
Yes, he is a felon.
Okay. And convicted. We're not talking about just baseless accusations. We're talking about real convictions here. It's bad news. So listen, the Raleigh House is an addiction treatment center, the Raleigh House. I'm going to give you a phone number. The reason I'm giving it to you is because we have established this with the Raleigh House for a community service. They want you to know about treatment, what it's all about, what it costs, what insurance covers, what they can do for you with their evidence-based treatments to reduce substance abuse. They want you to know what you need to do to approach an addict. They can tell you as a family when to approach them. As Thanksgiving is upon us, it's yet another holiday season, and people are either going to drink too much or abuse their prescription drugs or hard illegal drugs. Don't let the new year go by without making a change. It will affect your entire circle of friends and family if there is an addict in there. Please help them. 720-893-5559. You can ask anything you want. You're under no obligation whatsoever, no cost. You can ask any question having to do with addiction or having to do with treatment. 720-893-5559.
I think if she just has a bill of sale, she can take the car.
What's that?
She just has a bill of sale.
She won't have a license plate on the car.
All you need is a bill of sale, and you got 3 days to get it there as long as you have funds.
Oh, yeah. When she gets there, she's saying she's not going to have time. Well, she's going to have time. What do you mean?
She's a written bill of sale on the back of the title. Right. Will say that, hey, this mileage that I paid for this, whatever. That will be your temporary.
Yeah, they'll give her a temporary tag there.
No. She can use that for a temporary.
So you don't have any license plate on.
Correct.
No, wait. You're telling me you can drive across state lines from Michigan to Colorado. He's saying you don't need any plate.
Yes, but only if you drive the vehicle directly to the first place of storage, usually your home, within 3 days of the sale.
Where? Is that what Michigan says? What state?
This is Illinois or Colorado.
So what about in between?
I wouldn't. I
well, what if she gets stopped in between?
Well, I would say like, you could go through every state and see what they have for that.
I think that's a great idea. If that truly is what it said, that's truly what it says.
Yes, but only if you drive the vehicle directly to the first place of storage, usually your home, within 3 days of the sale.
I guess that's the deal.
You
can drive without a freaking bill.
Well, I've sold cars too before and just give them a bill of sale.
You better have insurance.
Right, you've got to have insurance. Got to have proof of insurance.
Proof of insurance,
absolutely,
and a bill of sale,
and the title signed over to you.
So if it's finance, you can't do that.
Probably not. But the title, they got to sign it, you sign it and stuff. But she's paying cash for it, and she said she wasn't going for it. You must have the properly assigned title and.
You looked up both Colorado and Illinois.
This is can you drive?
Denver to Chicago. I'm looking at the route.
Nebraska and Iowa.
Mr. Smarty Pants knows already. Okay, so
I used to live there.
Southeast Denver's best kept secrets where smoking is allowed.
I mean, that happens all the time. Where people buy a car.
It happens all the time.
Hey, you're like that Snoopy teacher.
Great service, fun atmosphere, killer cigar selection, belted pool tables.
So you're going to go through
You leave
Nebraska and Iowa. Is that what you just said?
Are you going out of town?
No, I'm
Did
staying.
it way too many times.
Yeah. I don't think I'll travel through.
Tomorrow traffic's going to be a nightmare. Friday in Castle Rock last year, Black Friday, I made the mistake of hitting the Wally World after Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it was like Nam. It was unbelievable, man. This one fat lady was yelling at me. I mean, it was crazy. It was nonstop. I'll never do it again. I did discover, though, that the Elizabeth Walmart is slow. I mean, it's busy for a Black Friday, but that's where I ended up last year. And all the deals were still there. But then what happens? You know what happens? Is those same deals are still good.
You know how many hours
Did you drive that?
I'm going to guess
14.
And they're all online.
14.
13. Okay.
This guy.
Unless if you were driving it, then it would be 16 because you're so careful.
Okay, so this Joel Perry says a career change brought about a Colorado Master Plumber license, President's Club's award for National Plumbing
Even look at that.
and owning a multi-million plumbing HVAC company sold in 2005.
Was it Plumline?
Well, I'm wondering.
I wonder what company he owned.
It doesn't say the name of the company.
In Colorado?
In Colorado. Colorado Master
Yeah, but
Plumber
what do you
license.
say, multi-million?
Multi-million plumbing.
I mean, that could be, it's not too hard to...
It's $2 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, all I'm saying is that.
It could be a lot of different companies is what I'm saying.
So he had the Mirage.
And he's valuing it.
Right. He sold it.
You're my multi-million-dollar guy, because that's how I value you.
Hey, Dan, would you look up Nebraska and Iowa while you're at it? Just look them up.
That would be the best, wouldn't it, if you could do that?
Yeah.
I mean, logically, it makes sense.
Do you have the information from that woman that wanted to buy the car? You have the information from the woman that wanted to buy the car?
I would take some plates from another car.
Get her back on. If I tell you, hold on, wait a second. We may have
as long as you get the bill of sale, I would.
A better one.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Throw you in jail?
I'm Tom Martino with Plumline Services, plumlineservices.com. We talked about multi-stage or modulating furnaces, which really are infinite stages. Do they have anything similar in water heaters, where water only heats up, where you don't just come on full speed? Do they have modulating water heaters?
Well, that's kind of the way a tankless water heater works.
Oh, that's true. It heats. Does a tankless water heater truly save energy?
Oh, without a doubt, because a standard tank will be heating the water and So
periodically throughout the day.
Right, exactly, to keep it hot. A tankless only heats on demand, and so if you go on vacation for a week,
that's true.
A standard tank will be heating that water all throughout that week, where a tankless will not.
How many people are converting? See, here's the problem. They've made water heaters so efficient now, some of the others, that it's not worth the extra expense. Isn't it like double to go to an instant water heater?
It is. It's quite a bit more expensive,
and
they're fantastic. They're great, but there are
even
some other
wholesale.
options and
Even wholesale, how much more are they? They're about 40% more.
Yeah, but here's the issue. I think. I mean, if I'm in the shower, Suzanne's in the shower, and one of the kids, it ain't working, right?
You got to have a bigger one.
Right. So in order to meet the demand, it'll lessen the gallons per minute that it's
pressure, and that could be a problem with company or big families.
Right. And I'm a fan of the water heater you got, Tom.
Yeah. Quick recovery.
Right. And it'll heat up to 200 gallons.
It's kind of like
per hour.
It's kind of like, it's not really an instant heater, but it's almost. In other words, it heats so quickly that while you're using the top half, the bottom half the bottom half is hot and moves to the top. Then the bottom half starts cooling so fast that you effectively can get how many? 200?
Up to 200. Where standard.
Before you run out, Mark. Mark, and
70.
that's what I have, and it really does work. Yeah, because man, I can attest to it.
And they're obviously more expensive as well, but if you got a large family or you use a lot, they're well
Naomi's been waiting a while. Naomi, what's going on? That's PlumlineServices.com. Naomi, what's going on with you?
Hi. I just wanted to get some information. I listen to your show a lot.
Oh, it's not Naomi. Well, I'm sorry. What is it? How do you pronounce your name?
Naomi.
Oh, it is Naomi. Okay, it's not. Okay, Naomi. Okay, so Naomi, what's going on with your Volvo?
Well, I don't have one. I've heard I'm looking for a new car or a used car, and I've heard that Volvos are really strong, like
safe. They're nice cars. They're nice cars. I can't throw stones at them, but I wouldn't get a used Volvo.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going to pay too much for it.
Well, not only that, repairs on it aren't as cheap as a lot of other Asians and Americans.
I need to explain something. The best new car value is the worst used car value. Let me explain what I mean. Cars that do not depreciate a lot are the greatest new cars you can buy, because if they depreciate a lot, you lose your investment quickly. Now, if you're going to keep the vehicles, no matter what you get, it doesn't matter. But if you change vehicles every now and then buying a car like a Volvo or a Nissan or Toyota, cars that do not depreciate a lot, that's the way to go, that don't depreciate a lot, if that's your goal. If you're going to keep a car, it doesn't matter. If you're going to buy a used car, it's just the opposite. To buy a used Toyota Land Cruiser is crazy, because the utility and function of that vehicle is no better than a used Chevy Traverse. And a Chevy Traverse, because it depreciates quicker than a Toyota, you will get the most screaming wonderful deal and a great vehicle. Now, let me explain something about depreciation. Depreciation has nothing to do with the quality of a vehicle. It used to. Now it's market perception. And for some reason, like it or not, I don't like it, because I absolutely love the Traverse, the Equinox. I think they can stand up to any four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive out there by Nissan, Toyota, anyone, by Audi. Here's the deal, though. You have a certain perception, and that perception keeps prices up. Like Mercedes, they have some of the best retail sale. Why? The resale, because the mystique. BMW is the same thing. But for some reason, American cars have less of a mystique and therefore depreciate more.
What's your budget?
Probably about 10, 12.
You're not going to get crap.
No, she can find an older Volvo.
That's way older. She can get a really nice used American SUV. Yeah, you can.
What I would look for is something that still has a bit of the manufacturer's warranty, even if it's 5,000 miles left on it.
Now, Kia is a really good deal.
Or Hyundai.
Okay.
Pronounced Hyundai.
What do you have? What do you...
Genesis.
No, but what is the factory?
Hyundai.
Hyundai is great.
Hyundai.
But now they depreciate a little more than the other foreign
If you
cars.
keep, and the other thing is, once again, though, if you can buy something that still has a little bit of the warranty, the Kia and the Hyundai have that 60,000 mile. Even if you buy it at 55,000, you can go get it checked out bumper to bumper, and it's all covered.
Yeah, that's a good point too. But but your budget is pretty low when it comes to SUVs.
It is low. I'm disabled, so I don't have a lot of...
For example, one of the worst used car values in the entire world is a Jeep.
Is a Jeep?
The worst you could ever have.
And they go through windshields. The Wranglers like crazy.
I mean, they're so popular. Now, that's an American car that doesn't depreciate because they're popular, but they're crap for what you get.
Okay.
You know, you'll pay $15,000 for an old piece of crap.
Check out, I mean, literally, check out Rockies. They're going to have stuff in that.
Yeah, they will. But also, if you want to check out Blinker.com, that's another one. And check out Purifoy Chevrolet for sure. There are a lot of places you can check. And then private owners. Just protect yourself, though.
Hey, quick update on Joel.
Yes.
You ready for this? This is according to a source.
Joel Perry, owner of Park It Right.
Yes.
Where we went and rescued that woman's car.
And we're starting to find left and right different places where...
he has multiple criminal charges where he was convicted of, and civil cases where he owes thousands and thousands.
One over $100,000 judgment for, you know, I don't know if you call it grand larceny or whatever, but that was a felony, that one. But this is from a true insider. I'm not going to say. We'll keep this source under wraps. But I got to tell you, this guy's, he's worked for Mirage, Wyatt's, Parking Authority.
Didn't he own Mirage?
Apparently, according to his website, he did. I haven't verified that yet, but I got our dogs on that. But this is interesting. The reason, according to this person, that he got into the boot business, you ready for this, is because he can't get a PUC for towing, a license for towing anymore. That's very curious.
Oh.
So he had so many issues, apparently, in the towing business, the PUC says no more, buddy.
Well, he was throwing rocks at the towing industry. You remember in his comments to us?
But yet he was in it forever.
Right. He was in the business, but maybe he got out of it because he couldn't keep it.
I wish Joel would call us and tell us about how he's such a great consumer advocate.
Yeah. Chris, what's going on with you, Chris? And we have some stunning information, by the way. We have some stunning information when we come back on how to get that car from Chicago to Denver without a plate at all. And I'm going to tell you a little known about a thing we found. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, well, thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
first
sir.
Off. So basically, about a month ago, did a job. I do replacement windows and doors.
Okay.
And mainly I normally just work for one guy, but occasionally I'll get other contractors that need some help, you know. And there's a guy, he does like a roofing and siding business, and he got in touch with me 4 or 5 months ago and needed help because he wanted to start selling windows too, but he didn't know how to do them.
So do you do just the labor part?
Yeah, just the labor.
Okay, so what's the problem with this guy?
Well, he hasn't paid me for the last job I did. I've done about 5 or 6 jobs for him, and you know, he was pretty good about paying. And right now, like I said, it's been about a month. He won't answer my phone calls, won't text me back. And you know, we didn't sign a contract or anything like that because it's only $500.
Yeah, but you can lien the house. You can lien the house.
Okay, yeah, because I do. The only proof I have is text messages back and forth.
But you did the work, though. You did the work.
Oh yeah.
But more than that, it's going to put a little fire in their belly to get it done.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting the poor consumer take the brunt of it, but if you do lien the house, they will raise hell.
Well, if they paid the guy in full, they'll have an affirmative defense. But is it within 120 days since you've been in that house?
Last month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're good, man. Just get it done.
That's what I would do. That's the quickest way. Now, we don't mind putting in a call and helping when we say we get directly involved. But one of the least things we do is collection. We don't like doing collections. That's not really a consumer problem. But we could pop a call into them. But I think if you put a lien on that house, first of all, do the intent to lien. That's probably all you're going to have to do is the intent to lien.
And that'll shake them up.
I think you're going to get a lot of attention, but feel free to call us back.
He just made me think of something. You know, did you see what I was doing this morning? You know who I'm suing?
Yes.
You saw me working on the paperwork.
Yes.
Let's talk about it later.
You were working on the paperwork?
Well, I gave it to my secretary to work. I mean,
my gosh.
my wife, my
Honestly,
cook.
Tom.
Hey, listen, he may need a personal injury attorney. John Fuller. I don't know if he covers being beat up, but listen, all kidding aside, the holidays are coming up, and a lot of stupid people are on the roads. They are. And when they get on the roads, they can hurt people. John Fuller knows how to go after people who are drunk behind the wheel, whether it be a big rig or a regular car. He can also, of course, help you with any negligent driver that hurts you. Please keep him in mind. Even if the other company says, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Many times they do that with the DUI because they don't want you seeking additional damages. So when an insurance company tells you, don't worry, we'll take care of it, that's when you should worry. They want to put you at ease. But remember this, they don't represent you, ever. Even your own insurance company doesn't really represent you. They represent their stockholders, their stock owners. So call John Fuller and hire someone to take care of you. At no direct cost, he just takes a portion of what is collected. John Fuller, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
Music Festival are sold out. 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival from Las Vegas. Two nights, one stage, over 20 of the biggest artists on the planet. Celebrated with iHeartRadio fans from around the world.
Actually used you guys years ago.
Oh, is that right?
I lived out in Bennett. Remember there was problems with the install on the furnace? You guys had multiple trips out there.
Watch our must-see
And we played some of
iHeartRadio
the
Music
siding.
Festival tomorrow night and Friday night at 8 on
apologize.
Colorado's own
Probably
CW.
do about 2,000
4 years.
I have the
privilege
again to speak with another
satisfied client of
We
Advanced
had
Tech
that carrier. I
Solutions.
think I thought it was in three-stage.
What does Advanced Tech Solutions do for you?
Basically, in 2006, I started my business.
Okay.
And I wasn't paying enough in taxes for that year and the year previous. So
Yeah,
I ended
so
up going
how would I know?
$6,000-$7,000.
After some time went by, the kick on at 60% first,
paycheck,
and then if you can satisfy the heating requirements, it'll stay at 60%.
Like knowing the
If not, it'll
IRS
boost up to 100%.
so stressful.
Yeah, it can be something. And if it's
You guys want apple pie? There's apple pie out there.
like,
I can't see
I don't eat that shit. It look good.
driving within state without between states.
There's apple pie out there. If you want some.
58 CBA, which is
definitely a good experience.
outstanding for us. I put that one of my mom's
Situation like Brandon, you've got to talk to
I need you to serve us.
I remember.
Advanced Tech
It was like
Solutions.
90 some
I need you to serve them on Thursday.
It was a 90 some odd Thursday. Okay, what we had in there, we got rid of was the builder grade.
It's I think it's the same place you serve the other one. What's it called? It's called like the service company. I think they have the same
When
guys.
on the drain they put in, it was coming out, they didn't have it drained right.
I can't find anything that actually, this one guy said he buys cars out of state, he tries to talk to the owner and keep his license plate on his, but he has food there.
See if you can get Jim Janicelli's title person on. I just want to verify this driving without a license.
Across states.
Just tell him we have questions on driving a car without a license.
I remember, didn't we,
Well, he said it so.
Yeah, but he said it's fine.
Across states and stuff, I can't find anything that says you can drive across the different.
They're saying,
But if each state,
Right, but this one guy said he buys a lot of them, says he tries to talk to the owner and he let him keep his plates.
yeah, why won't this sister just make it easy and then mail them back?
Concierge medicine is great.
It's not like she's got to pay for it.
I think this guy's wrong.
you can
But within the state, Colorado, you got 3 days.
pretty, but
Grossman and his wellness center
I'll
offer
bet you get away with
you
it,
know,
but you might get stopped.
I like taking that extra step.
including Dr.
Make it pretty in
every few months.
Well, very, very happy.
Aging
Good.
ethically, and their best aging male programs focus on bringing you the numerous health benefits of bioidentical hormone supplement. So
Yeah, I got these guys.
An affordable concierge
We do.
healthcare program that's
yeah,
focused
we,
on you and designed to
we
make
do
sure that
plumbing,
nothing falls
electrical.
between the cracks.
I've
Consider
got
a
to take
leading
this. I love
concierge program
it.
at Grossman Wellness
It's been in
Center. Call them today at 303-233-4247.
Life
And don't forget to mention me,
expectancy
Michael Brown,
is on
for a 50% discount on
50
your
or 20
initial
years is
as long as they're maintained, the challenge with the tankless is
you gotta have definitely
the heat
full sale.
so they'll build us some scale stuff.
There
So,
are thousands of rules in the Social Security handbook.
Is this something you guys would play?
You know the right
Something
ones
I
to
don't do
apply you.
maintenance
The wrong
on the
decision
right
can cost you
eye.
hundreds
It's really
of
not
thousands
super
of dollars.
difficult.
I'll bet you anything. I have the money back for my phone within 60
Social
days.
Security benefits. And that it's important
Yeah,
to
'cause it
work with
wasn't
an
cheap to
advisor
spend.
to understand the pros and cons of delayed benefits
probably.
and how to avoid the
I
hidden
know
traps
that's a
that could
big cost
reduce.
too.
As America's largest independent investment advisor, according to Investment News, Financial Engines offers help to more than 9 million people. We provide objective, personal, and comprehensive planning advice.
Yeah,
Get to
and because you got the double
financialengines.com.
wall,
We'll connect you with an expert financial
double
advisor
wall
in your
on
area.
now.
We'll help create a retirement
Now
and
they're,
Social Security
they use
benefits
the
plan,
PVC.
so you don't
So
have to
under-
bring anything to the table. So, financialengines.com. Get started today.
This is Claire Marcus, Financial Engines in the Denver area. Let's talk about the financial goals that are important to you, and together we'll
You guys
develop a
did
plan to
that
help
one,
make it
I
happen.
had.
Call me at 866-648-2323 or visit financialengines.com.
Jesus Christ, did you
For a
guys hear
limited
this?
time, get a free
In
version
Vail, an
of purchase
Uber
of
driver
ACC's
dragged a
no
passenger out of the
fees
car and
from
kicked him in the
Full Line
face.
Services, but it won't
That's
last
how this whole,
special interest financing.
fine, they got fined $8.9 million yesterday by Denver.
Oh, really?
Uber did for allowing drivers with felony convictions, but that's how it all started. In Vail, this guy was using it, and he ended up calling the cops because the Uber driver dragged him out of the car and kicked him in the face.
Call 5620439.
Want to know what's going
on?
To get
Follow us
dragged
on
over,
Twitter at
was he giving the guy
630 and find out.
Maybe he deserved to be dragged out.
Is it wrong to kick someone in the face?
They pee in the back of your phone.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter with Plumb Line Services in the house, helping us with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Art of Granite can also help you if you need countertops. Now, I don't think you're going to get it. Well, you could possibly get it done by Christmas, possibly. Yeah, you could.
Or you could, it would be a heck of a Christmas gift even if you had to wait a little longer.
Yeah, and for sure the New Year, I would. But you may want to call to find out. Art of Granite does this thing so well. He's got it dialed into a science. First of all, he doesn't upcharge for granite or countertops at all. All you do is buy on his wholesale account, either from him or anywhere else. He has a beautiful showroom in Golden. But here's what you do. Take a picture and do some measurements. You will be shocked at how close Mitch Valeria will come with pricing. He was within a few bucks when Mark did it. And then Mark and Suzanne. Then you go out to his showroom, pick the specific stuff, and he gives you the exact price that will not change. If you want cabinets as well, it's a small markup from the manufacturer. It's that easy. 1 to 4 week turnaround from the time you give him the actual stuff you want, the detail. He's open 7 days a week, and of course open Black Friday, but not Thanksgiving. And he's serving the metro area and the mountain communities. Give him a call, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. His story is very interesting too, how he started this business with like $300 and he was from Romania. He had no idea what to do. He got a job doing granite and then formed his own company. I love stories like that. So, that's why we do what we do. Good businesses should be promoted. People who are ripping people off should be exposed. It's that easy. And so many of you don't have enough to hire an attorney. So you would either walk away thinking, oh man, this sucks. Or tell your friends, well, you get to tell a lot of friends all at once. This show is about aggregating all those voices and putting them together and making a difference. So Larry, let's make a difference. What's going on? $79 for what, Larry? So that's what you need. So that's what I'm asking. Is that a service call or is that the specific job or what? So, yeah, of course they're going to give you a refund, right? Now, did you pay how? How did you pay? So it's easy, man. That's easy. That is so easy. I would dispute it. That's what I would do. Just dispute it. No, they can't. They're not going to keep. They're not kicking you out of Best Buy. Come on. Oh, come on. Well, Best Buy's a good store. I wouldn't let that. Listen. They said it was 79, then said 99. You know what? That's stupid.
For $20, why they just wouldn't honor that. All you need to do, by the way, let's get right to your problem. You need to hook up your printer to the network.
Well, I've since had it done. I found someone cheaper,
good,
better, and to do it.
Good.
But my worry is I was on the road to pay $180 for the charge before I got the refund.
No, I know. So what are you asking me? Are you asking me what? That if you should dispute it?
Well, I'm just kind of
pissed
to warn the customers that when they go online, they need to get the appointment right away, because it took me 2.5 hours just to get.
I don't even know why people use the Geek Squad. You know what? I think they overcharge. You know why they use them? Because they're organized and they're there. And they do what they say. That's why. And it's backed by a pretty good store. Mark, you know, we used to have PC Answers before John Hogan sold and they screwed up the place.
I loved when he owned that place.
God, I miss him. The other day I wanted to call him for something. Do we have another company that we can trust like that?
Not yet. We do need one, though.
We had another guy, but he couldn't measure up either.
Well, he was okay. He was in Colorado Springs, though.
Yeah. We need an all-around computer repair guy and a computer consultant and all of that. We do not like the way that new business is being run. No. So, unfortunately, PC Answers is not the answer for us. We removed them from the referral list as soon as John Hogan sold. It's too bad, because there aren't many mom-and-pop stores anymore or computer repair places. And I say computer repair, but it's computer setup, helping people with computers, and
transfers of data.
And with the Christmas season coming up, if there's anyone out there that would allow us to check them out, we would love you on the referral list. We would love it. Really, we need someone like a John Hogan at PC that used to have PC Answers. We don't. Like I said, the company changed.
Why'd he retire? What's his problem?
Yeah, he wanted to retire. He's an old guy. He's an old fart, and he wanted to retire. So, let's find someone.
So, Tom, I don't understand. You started to mention it. Why wouldn't Best Buy or Geek Squad just say, you know what, we made a mistake.
I know.
For $20. They caused Larry all this
That
problems.
would be like somebody saying, how much would this call charge be? And then you quoted it wrong. I know what you would do. You'd say, you know what, it's a free call charge.
I would probably just waive the entire call.
I know you would.
It's just ridiculous.
And that's the way it should be done.
Best Buy is kind of, they're
corporate.
Yeah.
They're corporate.
You got to cut through
but
so much crap.
I can't down them for this. If big corporate is okay for pricing and quick things. I mean, I like Best Buy. I like them. I don't want to like them, but I do.
I
don't want to like Walmart, but I do.
I love Walmart.
I don't want to like Amazon, but I love Amazon.
Listen,
I love me some Amazon.
I would like to see more mom and pop retailers. I mean, we used to have.
Well, really,
I like
why?
Mark.
Remember the hardware store in Parker?
Of course. I like the idea, Mark. You're right about. I like big, but I like being treated small. I want that feel. That's what I want. I want both.
Costco.
And I'm not just saying this because Bob's here. Plumline gets that good balance. They're a big company. Jeff built that to a big company along with Bob's helping other people, and they are really good people. And they do have that individualized thing. Those techs take their van and their little territories and stuff for real. They They treat it like their own
and that
thing.
doesn't mean we don't make mistakes.
No.
But I tell, whether it's our customer service representatives or our technicians or anybody else, I say, you know what? If you run into an issue, how do you want to be treated?
Right, exactly.
How do you want to be treated?
Exactly.
And let's take care of the client
Now,
that way.
As far as a big, I like Best Buy. I like Walmart. Do you know what, Mark? I like spices for cooking, all right? At a supermarket.
Sam's Club, baby, and Costco.
At a supermarket, spices can be $8 and above, $9, $10 for little tiny.
Yeah, they rip you.
Now, Stephanie and I were at a Walmart, and we happened to walk into the food section and saw spices for $1.97. And I said, what's wrong? There's got to be something wrong. Bigger size, not bulk, but bigger size. It was the same spice. I'm thinking, wait a minute. It wasn't McCormick, or it wasn't one of those big names, but I'm talking $1.97. Now, Walmart, I'm looking at some, I saw some kids. My kids don't care where they get clothes. They, T-shirts and stuff. My daughter happened to look at something, this one dress. She liked it. It was $8. Now I'm saying, wait, $8, a young lady's skirt. It wasn't bad looking. I mean, it was there, and it was real. I mean, it's not like I'm making it up. And then you go to other stores. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, Tom, how could you ever buy your daughter a skirt at Walmart when she can, go to Dolce & Gabbana? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's really, I know that people, when it comes to fashion, that's a whole different area. But for kids' clothes and for spices or for things, I mean, I see things sometimes that I think to myself, how the hell do they even make any money?
Suzanne, how much are my jeans generally?
We got
$9 at Sam's
Club, baby.
We got more coming up.
She can't believe it's almost 90% of my jeans are $9. The other day, they had Levi's for $14.
A couple of crashes there on I-25.
That's like, I had to think about it. I like Levi's, but $5 more, man.
That's stretching. That's stretching it. I'll make it. Watch out for it on the highway. There's a crash.
Getting further away. Have you spilled today?
No. I go some days.
Someone get him a Coke.
That's the I-25.
Yeah, where is my coat? I didn't have one today.
Later on, it's a high near 51. That's a warm, partly cloudy overnight with a low of 34.
That was by
now overcast skies and 37 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How.
This report is brought to you.
I can't believe this guy picked this fight with us.
All green sky.
Yeah, but he hasn't come back like a lot of them.
He might have woke up, came out of his drunken stupor, and decided to go a different direction.
Like he didn't get on his webpage and start putting stuff.
Remember, you got one more Become the Bank.
Happy and healthy.
Time to clean carpets, and I know who I'll call.
Did you do Century?
303-471-5150.
I tried to feed you into a Rockies. You missed me.
My carpets before, time and time again. My carpets have never ever smelled or looked cleaner, and it's all done without soap, harsh chemicals, or detergents. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Carl Martino. Just $119.
That's the number one thing.
What's that?
They teach you how to be a plumber when you're in prison.
Fees may apply. When I walk on my carpets after zero.
This guy spent plenty of time in jail.
Yeah.
Did he?
Many of the applicants.
He was in jail?
Yeah, he had bond hearings, all kinds of shit. Dude, look, this is just like some of it. He's the real deal, man.
He was in jail.
Well, yeah, because I see bonds posted on a lot of these.
303-471-5150. Zero Reds, the only.
Let me find the big one.
So this source we have, Mark.
303-471-5150.
Does he know a lot?
Zero Reds, Denver.
Yeah, he knows this guy. Yeah.
You could just tell by how they made those boots how ridiculous they were. Just a piece of steel triangle.
It looks like a yield sign.
It's not even hard to
Don't
steal
forget
chain.
Marky Mark and the Fancy Pants.
What are you talking about?
That's your nickname.
Hey, where's my coat?
He was so proud of the pants that he got. I bought him in all the colors. I nicknamed him Marky Mark and the Fancy Pants.
Those were $8 at Sam's. I still have those at home. I wear those when it's...
Hey, they're
not fancy. They're waterproof for when I plow.
Dan,
there's nothing fancy.
This is way better than that other one.
It looks down. Yes,
That's hilarious.
Shut up, Dan.
It just seems a little, but it holds up. It doesn't seem as sturdy as the other one, but it holds up.
It's not.
This is Sam's Club. This flannel, and it's a good brand. It's Eddie Bauer. That's like Gucci. right?
Eddie Bauer's a good brand.
It's like Polo, it's like Ralph Lauren.
Not quite.
What do you mean not quite?
Not quite. Far enough.
Does they have an Eddie Bauer store in the mall?
Oh no.
I think so.
Those wouldn't catch me there.
I cannot believe
$12.
Yeah.
Sam's Club, baby.
Same shirt in the Eddie Bauer in the mall is $28.
Well, no, it's more than that. When you buy at Sam's, they have the original tags on always. And I bought a Columbia jacket
there are some
$100.
But there are some clothes like
$12.
Theory and stuff that you can't buy. I mean, come on.
Walmart's buying up. Walmart owns more major brands than you have any idea, or distribution points for them. In other words, Gucci. If you go online and go to certain places that sell Gucci, I mean the real deal, there's a hell of a shot it's owned by Walmart. They are buying, they're the second biggest online retailer, or third. Amazon, Alibaba, Walmart is coming up so fast, it's unbelievable. They're buying up all these things all over the country.
Walmart's going to be the only threat to Amazon out there.
And you know why? Distribution points, too. That's
They
the
have
one.
their stores.
Amazon does not have the footprint across the world that Walmart has.
Right.
So just like lockers at 7-Eleven, Amazon's doing, Walmart, you'll be able to pick it up. Now, because the contracts they have, like with these manufacturers like Gucci, and I'm using these expensive ones, they can't sell from the store yet, but they can order it. You pick it up at a Walmart, and they're not breaking the rules. And you get it at half the price you would in the mall. Between Walmart and Amazon, the malls are going bye-bye.
Everything is going to come down to price. That's the unfortunate reality.
Convenience.
Convenience for sure.
Yesterday I just got a 65-inch curved TV delivered, $925.
Oh, you
for a 4K.
Hi, Tom Martino here. I'm sorry we got lost in conversation about how inexpensive things are getting. Yes, we talk about how expensive things are, but at the same time, I think retail is doing a fabulous job at keeping expense down. But small businesses are truly being worked out. They're being totally eliminated. This is why Amazon has a model that helps small business. They take over the back end. Mark and I talked about this. We talked about how this map maker we talked to, that hiking maps, she used to have to do everything. Now all she has to do is do hiking maps. And she does the best hiking maps you can find. She walks the trails. She loves doing it. But she doesn't have to worry about advertising. She doesn't have to worry about
fulfillment is the big one.
She doesn't have to worry about collecting money. She doesn't have to worry about any of that.
Yep.
All she does is make a map. And then
she'll make them.
Orders, and then she ships them to Amazon.
And that's it. Then they control the inventory.
I believe that's the future. Not the elimination of small business, but the back end. I told Mark, I want to go into that business. I want to take over the back end of a lot of businesses. Small people that want to compete big. I think there's a future there. Why eliminate them? I mean, I don't want to eliminate jobs. I want to help people. So I think there is something to be said for small business people. And the reason their prices are so expensive is because they don't have the efficiency of the back end. You see, I know there's someone out there thinking right now, oh my God, Tom, that's cool, let's do it. Because it's true. Think about it. The only reason these guys have to be expensive, that's why you go to a big company, that's why you go to a Walmart instead of some Joe Blow in Cherry Creek. Those people are working their asses off. Now, I know some people are expensive just for the sake of being expensive, but many times they're expensive because they don't have the efficiencies of the back end. So I'm talking about specifically little, guys that like the map maker is a perfect example, but there are many others like that. They might sell a t-shirt, they might do something that they can't compete with a Walmart. But Amazon is one of the few companies that they're helping people. They're really helping people.
A good example is the radon test lady. I told her, here's what you got to do. You buy the radon test, you send them to Amazon. Anytime an order comes in for them, Amazon does everything for you.
I want to do that for people. I want to have some kind of a... Because Amazon truly isn't that business for everything. It's only for certain products.
It's for hard products. It's for goods.
I'd like to take a lot of these smaller guys that are forced to be more expensive and give them the economy of scale. I would. And I'm going to eventually. We're working on stuff like that in the background.
So real quick.
Yes, because Carol, the one who's buying that car out of state, we have some other bold information for her. Go ahead.
So Uber was recently fined, like in the last 48 hours, by the state of Colorado, $8.9 million. You know why? Because they're allowing drivers to drive with felony convictions and other stuff. And I'm going to tell you how this ties into me directly after the break.
Okay. And Carol, buying a car out of state. We have some good news for you. Plus, we haven't heard from our common man. We got to talk to him. And then don't forget PlumlineServices.com in the house.
Bring your appetite to Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk in October and November.
I don't know if it is good news. When you start crossing state
Does it
lines.
say you can't cross the state line?
No,
No.
it
If it doesn't, then what difference does it make?
Well,
I say if you got their state law and you're not violating it, so what?
Here's what you risk. You don't risk jail or anything. You risk having to drive back to that fucking state to show up for court. That's all you're going to risk.
Yeah, but they're, I mean, what are they going to do? They're probably going to fine you. What's the fine going to be?
Not much. Not much.
Well, I guess they could impound the car. I mean, I don't know.
They could.
I would talk my sister
That's
into
why
letting me keep the tags on the
when
car.
I was a
It seems
kid
very
going to
simple.
spring break in Florida, we used to get stopped in Georgia, and they say, "Son, we're going to impound this car." Now, you know, you could have a hearing right now and get it all taken care of. And I said, oh, "We're on our way to spring break. They're going to impound the car, and then we have to go to a hearing in a few days." I mean, this ruined my whole break.
It's a good shakedown.
And so they said, "Well, we'll have the hearing. We'll call out the judge." He calls on the phone. Not a cell phone. We don't have a cell phone. He had to call on his radio, you know. And says, "Okay." He said, "I could take care of it. It's going to be a $600 fine."
600?
600.
They're on spring break for you.
No.
Now, this is like what year? 600. I said, "We don't have that money, sir. What you got?" We literally got a shakedown. And then we drove away.
I think I saw that on the Andy Griffith show.
We drove away.
I've been shaken down in Mexico a couple times, but I've never let them take my money, ever. Suzanne thought I was going to jail one time.
Really?
He said, "I'll take, either pay me $100 or I got to take your license and passport." And I said, "Well, A, the passport's in the hotel, so you're not going to get my passport. B, go ahead and take my license, and I'll come see the judge, bud." And she's looking at me like, "Oh, shit." And then he just backed off and drove off, man.
Really? So 24 hours in Illinois, you can drive it. The best place, like you say, would be have her sister get a temporary plate from the dealer she's buying it from, have her leave it on, and
That's so easy. It's
and
crazy.
overnight it back.
She's probably
when she gets
afraid
back
her
there.
sister will never send the plates.
You're probably right.
There's some
You're probably
trust
right.
issue.
Right. But going across different states are really.
It's like carrying a gun through some states.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Impossible. Like in Minnesota, the plates stay on the car.
You don't get credit for the tags?
I don't know if you get credit for that, but the actual plates stay with the car.
I wonder how they associate that with the person then, who owns the car. In other words, when the cop runs a tag, how do they know who owns it?
Well, I imagine it goes through their.
So DMV.
That's where it goes to redo it, but every state's different. And then you got this one guy from Ask Doug. He said, "Well, I tried to talk the guy into leaving the plates on there."
What do you think about Jaguars?
They're built a lot better than they used to be. Ford owns them.
I thought Ford sold them back.
I don't know. Let me look.
Unless your car breaks down.
Yeah, I know back in the...
I'll tell you, they're nice looking cars.
Their SUV is unbelievable.
It's beautiful. I'll tell you, from owning 5 Goodyear shops, they were one of the very expensive vehicles to fix. You'd have the wannabes buy used ones with high mileage, and man, they'd come in with basic stuff. You know, you get up around 100,000 miles, you're putting a cat on a car, you're doing certain things. Your rotors are going to be too thin, calipers, I mean, shit starts breaking. And man, they're more expensive than the BMW to fix generally.
Really?
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're buying it brand new, you got the warranty.
Which one's that?
Jaguar. Aston Martin was sold to a group of investors.
Ford
Jaguar and Land Rover went to Tata Motors for $2.3 billion.
Wait, I thought Jaguar was Ford.
Ford never managed to turn a profit on Jaguar or Land Rover. But Tata, that's who owns them now, has managed to turn the two into thriving businesses. So Ford, I didn't know Ford ever owned Land Rovers.
I didn't know that.
So I'm going to brought to you by Become the Banker again.
Tata. Tata Motors, never heard of them. They're huge though.
Then that leaves Aurora, Ortho, Sentry, and Pro.
It's got to be, let me see where they're out of. Chinese automaker. So actually, Volvo is owned by the Chinese now. It's a Chinese automaker named Geely, G-E-E-L-Y. I had no idea.
Who is that?
Volvo is a Chinese vehicle now.
So Tom, like in Illinois, you can drive it 24 hours, as long as it's without a plate.
Man, you're asking me
how
to
long?
pull over
Where?
No matter how you
In
put
Illinois, you got 24 hours. Colorado, you got 3 days. Every state's so different.
But that's good. 24, they're out of there now.
How would they ever know how long you were there or where you were going?
Well, it's going to be on your title and your bill of sale. Well, we won't say a time, but we'll say a date.
I got you.
I say take the risk. Just gun it.
Just drive really fast.
Are you a U.S. veteran? American Financing wants to say a huge thank you for your service. If you haven't taken advantage of your vehicle,
Are you looking at a Jag?
now is the time before rates
Yeah, my wife loves the SUV.
Talk to Daphne. I think they have one. She loves Jaguar.
Yeah, she like Porsche.
They have Porsche. They have a Jaguar. They have a Mercedes. They got that new Mercedes wagon thing. What Jaguar should they have? Do you know? Is it the SUV? I don't know. Or is it that little
Jaguar?
Is it a coupe?
I don't remember.
Daphne, what Jaguar do you have? Jaguar.
It's a gorgeous car.
I don't like them anymore. I used to like them the way they were. I don't like them anymore.
Oh, I think they're gorgeous now. This last couple model years are unbelievable.
I think Bentleys are off the chart.
Of course.
I used to have, my Bentley was so beautiful, and I just loved it, but it was a piece of shit. It was one of the hand-built ones. I don't say piece of shit. I meant high maintenance. Oh my God! Now listen to this. The fuel line was routed the wrong way. It was causing problems near the transmission. It says we have to reroute it. I ain't paying for that. You guys built it. They said, yeah, but this team did it this way. Because when they were hand building them, that's when they were like Rolls Royces, you know, like nobody had them. Oh my God, it was the worst thing. I learned hand-built cars, that's not what you want. Each team documents what they do. And they did something wrong, and so out of warranty they said, well, it was done wrong at the factory, and you pay for it. And it's like, what? But hand-built means, that's when I learned hand-built means nothing. I mean, it's terrible. And then it was right before they started. It was right before they really started mass producing them for the masses. It's when they were still like 240,000, or well, they still are, I guess. But see, now they're making way more profit because of the hand building, because of the machine building. I like them better now.
Shooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We are shooting your trouble. That means if you call us with a problem, we try to get directly involved and help you. We can do it any way that you want. We can get directly involved, give you advice, suggestions, referrals. That's what we do this hour, brought to you by Become the Banker. Yes, we're proud to represent that investment product for the masses, I call it. It's overfunding life insurance to grow tax-free, then borrowing from it. Yes, and then you borrow from it for anything you need through your life, including a college education. Then you pay it back with interest. That's even more money you get to shelter that interest you pay. And then here's the whole game. At the end, I don't mean the end of your life, but at the end of this funding, let's say you're 55, 60, whatever, and you want to start living the good life. You then can subtract. You start taking out of the policy money to live on. You don't pay any income tax on it, and the money that's left in there still grows tax-free. It's a tax-free retirement. It's not a qualified plan, yet it has, in my opinion, better benefits. Because then you say, well, wait a minute, what happens when I borrow this money? Let's say I borrow $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 over my lifetime, and then I die. Then the life policy pays off what you borrowed. And if you have any left, your estate gets it. Listen, the idea is to balance the life benefit with how much you want to shelter and put away tax to grow tax-free. Learn more at becomethebanker.info. Becomethebanker.info. And we also have some a phone number where you can talk to somebody if you want. 303-779-6600. 303-779-6600. Let's go and talk. Carol, you were asking about buying a car, right? You from your sister in Chicago or in Illinois, and you want to drive it back. You wanted to know about getting a transport tag. Of course, we talked about using Blinker.com to do all the paperwork. That would be a great thing. But we still talked about this temp tag, what to do. You can go there and get a transport tag, or we found from Dan's research of the laws say that in every state there's an option, every state in your route, there seems to be an option that when you buy a car, you have a certain amount of time to transport it without a plate, as long as you have a bill of sale showing that you bought it, and you have the title signed over to you, and you have insurance. We have found that literally, for example, in Illinois, you can drive that thing to storage. You have 24 hours to do it. So that means you'd have enough time to drive out of state. And then also in Colorado, you technically have 3 days to drive it to storage. Literally 3 days. So, and I couldn't believe it until I saw it. Dan pulled it up. You don't need any tag, and I found that hard to believe. I'm taking Dan at his word.
But that's not every state. I didn't share it.
Not every state. I mean that
not even every state on her route.
Oh, I thought it was her route. You checked the route.
No. I couldn't find it that they say driving through each state.
I'm not talking about driving through. I'm talking about if Colorado has a law that you can drive it to transport for 3 days, and Chicago has a law that says you can drive it to transport for 24 hours, in my opinion, if they were adjacent to each other, you could just drive from one to the other. I don't know, because because federal law doesn't address motor vehicles. But so I don't know what law would unless Colorado had a law saying if you buy a car out of state, you can't drive it. I mean, I don't know. They say if you have a bill of sale and if you have license, a bill of sale, excuse me, and you have insurance and the title, you can drive it to storage, and you have 3 days to do it.
I don't know if technically, though, you can go interstate. If you can go almost like a firearm.
I don't know either, because did you research Iowa and Nebraska?
No, they didn't have anything about driving it through the state.
What did they have? I don't care about driving through. Did they have a 24-hour grace period?
No, I didn't find anything in Iowa.
Because I'm saying that if they have a 24-hour grace period, that's all you need. You're not going to be in the state 24 hours.
I bet Bob knows.
But then again, well, you know, either that or it's not addressed. That's the point. Bob, go ahead. Bob, the car guy, he likes chiming in on this stuff. What did you find any written laws?
Yeah, it's simple. You kind of touched on most of it. Iowa does have a trip permit. It's a 7-day permit. But, as I told Carol, I talked to her off the air.
Yeah, but we're not talking about permits, because she's not buying it in Iowa. She's buying it in Chicago.
I'm sorry. Let's try it again. Illinois has a 7-day trip permit. So I talked to Carol about it, but you have to order it by mail, so there's no way she can get it in time.
Right, that's right.
Number two, Illinois does allow a newly purchased vehicle to be driven for 24 hours in Illinois. Colorado has a 3-day rule, but that's if you buy it after the close of business on Friday. You've got until Monday morning to register.
That's only for weekend purchases?
Correct.
So it's not for, did it say that, Dan, for weekend purchases?
I didn't read that, but
yeah, I didn't read it either. Bring it up again, Bob. We didn't see that.
Well,
it said weekends.
I'm 100% confident with that one.
Okay, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. I just want to see it.
That's why you always advise people.
When you say 3 days to drive in Illinois, The law doesn't say that. It says to storage. It doesn't say in Illinois. What I'm saying is what would they care if you have 3 days? The point is, when you're driving away and you take 12 hours to get out of the state or 4 hours, they're not going to stop you because you're
confusing. You're mixing the 3-day Colorado with the 7-day permit to Illinois.
I'm not talking about a permit at all. I'm talking about the law that says that you can drive it for
24 hours.
Right.
Illinois has 24 hours in Illinois.
Bob, would you please listen, okay? What I'm saying is, during that 24 hours, if you drive from one point to outside of Illinois, Illinois can't do anything because you're out of Illinois, and you've taken that 24 hours. If they stop you while you're en route, you're still within that 24 hours.
In Illinois, that's correct, but Mark brought it up, and I've done the same checking. Then I've had drivers pulled over in Iowa driving on valid transport tags because I have a transport company.
And what do they say?
Well, each state has their own rules, and each state interprets, the officer, if someone gets pulled over, it's the officer's interpretation. There's certain rules for transport tags in Colorado, and the only people that understand them are the state patrol. Local doesn't. But as I told Carol, it's going to be Thanksgiving driving, lots of cars on the road. She's going to have the signed bill of sale. She's going to have the signed title.
Exactly.
I referred her to the Colorado VIN inspection form, which she can get any Illinois law enforcement officer to sign and fill out. And in my opinion, 99% she will make it through without any problem.
That's what we were thinking.
If she gets pulled over, any law enforcement officer is going to say, okay, I see what you're doing. Have a nice day.
That's what I was thinking, although, like I said, we're not going to advise her to do it, but what we were saying, Carol, each state has its own law. And the only point I was making, if a state has a temporary law, I don't see why they would care if each state has a few hours you can drive it, because you're only going to be in the state a few hours.
And she should really be heavy on the pedal. Drive fast as you can.
But, Carol, like I said, you got to do it at your own risk. I think that would be better than driving with another plate, don't you, with a plate that doesn't match the car?
Yes.
That's what I think. But, again, Carol, but I was shocked that there were even laws in a state that says you can drive, that say you can drive without a plate. I was shocked. And, but in Colorado, though, Bob is saying you can't have 3 days. It's only for the weekend. It's only for the weekend. Would you look up that law? Because I'm just curious more than anything. So, 303-713-TALK. I've never read it, so I don't know. 303-713-8255. We have Plumb Line Services with us in the house, too, about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and Common Man Tom Anderson, who's been curiously quiet. And he worked store security for years, which I find pretty fascinating. What was the most creative way you found someone, oh, wait, I don't want to get into body cavities, but other than that, what's the most creative ways you found people shoplifting?
One of the most creative that I've ever seen is a while ago when stores were selling VCRs, and VCRs were hot. Lady came in, she had some sort of a girdle, but the girdle went down to just below her knees. She had
like Spanx?
Yeah, something similar to that, but it was a girdle, if you will, and then a dress over that. She went over to the VCRs, grabbed a VCR, went up between her legs, and this girdle contraption held that VCR in there as she waddled out the store.
How did you find it?
Well, we saw her.
Saw it on camera, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are you allowed to stop them in the store if they're concealing? I heard you can.
Well, you can. The Colorado law says you can. But if you're smart, you're going to let them go past the point of sale. That's going to improve your odds of any kind of referral for prosecution.
Say, I'm going to do it.
Sure.
I heard a big thing was people walking into like a Walmart or a Target, a box store, they grab something off the shelf, then they walk right up to the return counter and return it for cash.
I've heard of that, too.
Happens all the time.
That's insane.
Absolutely.
What technically are they doing? Because they don't leave the store with the product.
No, it's conversion. It's fraud.
It's still fraud. Absolutely.
It's definitely fraud.
Especially this time of year, it's big.
Because you're misrepresenting. No, do they really do that? And
Absolutely.
But nowadays with computers, though, even if you don't have a receipt, they know if you made the purchase. And that's they look on the computer.
That's what's changed.
Yeah.
They look at your credit card if you paid for it that way.
Sure.
They know they can trace that sale down to whatever time you.
Or the refund will be just a gift card.
I bet still the biggest.
Paid cash for it. How are they going to trace it if you paid cash for it?
Well, they can what register? I mean, I don't know where the product came from.
It's scanned.
Yeah, but not all of them have like if you buy certain TVs and stuff, they scan 2 things. I would agree with you there. But if it's like a blender with the same code on everything, it'd be pretty hard to know where that was purchased.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think they have the same code on everything, do they?
No, but on bigger items like TVs, computers, cameras, phones, now they have individual barcodes. But isn't still the biggest theft for most organizations all internal?
Absolutely.
It's your cashiers. I had a friend in high school, this guy, he got caught. He was a checker at a place. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was kind of like a Kohl's, Mervin's, I think it was. He'd have buddies go through, scan one thing of clothing, and then kind of miss the second, miss the third.
Absolutely.
And they pressed charges and nailed his ass.
Happens all the time.
All right. We talk about this a lot. Don't get into debt during the holidays and expect to go bankrupt in January. People, it's not a smart thing to do. You could be caught for fraud. Don't engineer a bankruptcy. If you need a fresh start, do it the right way and learn from it. Call Wink and Wink, winkandwink.com, 303-920-1622. If you can't make your bills, a divorce, a death in the family, something happened, they understand. Winkandwink.com, 303-920-1622. You know, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. One of them is to look better, to feel better, to do something about their health. A lot of people want to improve their smile. You know, smile, some studies were done that if you don't feel good about your smile and actually use those muscles to smile, it can invoke depression. That actually by smiling, the act of smiling and standing up straight and feeling good comes from body language. It feeds it. So Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, they do some amazing stuff. It's called the New Orthodontics. In 2 years, just 2 years, you can convert your entire smile to a beautiful new smile by widening your palate. Even as an adult, the New Orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson has proven, with a graduated mouthpiece program, you can widen your palate. You wear them at night, and then your teeth will align themselves. For the straightening toward the end, you'll use Invisalign braces. And because your jaw is being aligned, you're not doing veneers, you're doing actual correction. It helps with TMJ and sleep apneas as well, plus a beautiful smile. And it's a fraction of the cost of veneers. Veneers can cost 50 or 60 grand. This is a fraction of that. Dr. Kent Lawson, the New Orthodontics. Call for more information, 303-690-0100, and make your new year bright, 303-690-0100.
Big delays on the westbound side of I-70 approaching Brighton Boulevard. Just cleared off the highway. A jackknife semi that had the highway temporarily blocked. So residual backup past I-270. It is starting to improve.
What's doing Pastor Lawrence Church? Is it a new song? Pastor Lawrence Church, is that new song?
Oh, it's Bible, East Bible Baptist Church. East Bible Baptist Church, 5500 East 26th Avenue.
Show me how I ban someone on this Facebook.
What is he saying now?
It's not him.
I delete and ban. Where is it?
With your traffic and weather, I'm Keith Wagner. 6:30. Hey.
Why? What did they say?
Samantha, we want a banner.
Yeah.
First of all, we want a hide comment. How do you banner?
That's what
I know how.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, do it. Hide and ban.
All right, I gotta.
You gotta find it.
So you should be able to.
I love how you get 60, 70, 100 people with great things, but there's always one.
So you go hide comment and then ban.
Oh, after you hide it?
Okay, go ahead. Do it.
Ban.
Mark, that I do that if anything is said about any of us.
Yeah, of course.
It's because it doesn't even belong. First off, he's wrong. It wasn't 20 years. It's 40 years.
That's what we should have replied.
You guys have a lot.
people making snide comments against you?
No, actually, probably 1 in 100.
That's what I'm just saying. We'll have like 100 comments, which are all great, and there's always one asshole.
Like when I tried to get that woman a liver, or someone is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, someone actually had a problem with us getting someone a liver, which is fucking amazing.
Really? Did you ever get it? Or did she get it?
Yes.
She did.
She's going through surgery on the 4th of December. Is that right? I think the 4th. We'll have a huge update about it. We're trying to get her husband to come on.
Yeah.
We tightly control. You want to know why? All this stuff about free comments, all that's bullshit. We're here to help people, and anybody that gets in the way, I don't want any part of it. There's no reason.
No, but I mean, you know.
And usually when you look at these people individually, they're losers.
Yeah, normal criticism and shit, we could care less. Hey, today was a boring topic. Fine, who gives a shit? But hateful shit, that's the way to put it.
Yeah.
What was that level of
like there's a lot of negative stuff about Dan all the time.
Usually.
That damn Deputy Dan.
Who is the what
The funniest one, though, that happens all the time is people will call up because I'll say something they're irritated at. And they'll call up and they'll say to Suzanne, "Your husband." They'll start it literally, "Your husband." But she's getting used to it.
So, did some guy say that we destroyed his property or something?
No.
Because you commented, we deleted. No, I see. Okay. But now there's evidence. Oh, I see.
Tom, this follow-up with Ayla that I have, we've been working on it for a few months because the Dojon Master was out of town, or out of the country for a while. But here's like, makes it pretty, she says this to the Dojon Master. She tried to tell us her husband was laid off. He wasn't laid off.
So many people, those in martial arts.
Your husband.
16 times a day. Keep listening.
Yeah, did you get that today?
No.
Somebody put that on there?
No, not today.
Oh, from the kids? My daughter. She'll think your husband is being a jerk.
The worst one, I tell them what they said, not on the air.
Oh, Bob. That might have been Bob.
That's not going to offend them.
Guy, lady calls me.
Let's get Elon Musk to fire her off in a rocket right now.
Such bloody asshole.
Oh,
jeez.
I offered to have her.
I'm not sure what I said.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Approval Reverse Mortgages. If you need a reverse mortgage, there's only one place I recommend. First of all, you may not need it. It may not be good for you because there are only certain people where it fits. And if you're 62 or older and have equity, you know, the older the better. But Joan Sullivan will take a look at your entire situation to see if you're a good candidate. She won't slam you into it. So learn about reverse mortgages through her. Joan Sullivan, ApprovalReverse.com. ApprovalReverse.com. 303-771-3528. 771-3528. Is this Ayla? Ayla. Is that how I pronounce your name? Ayla, this martial arts contract you entered into, we said we would follow it up. You said there was a condition that you could get out of it if your financial condition changed or something. Was there a clause in the contracts?
No, Tom,
there wasn't.
It's only for moving.
Oh, for moving.
Yeah.
So then it didn't matter whether her husband was laid off or not, is what he's saying.
Well, yes, but he was the Master C was telling us, that's his name, Master C, said, you know, had he been genuinely laid off, we may have reconsidered.
But he wasn't laid off?
He made the decision to switch jobs because he didn't get a promotion, is how I read that text from Ayla to Master C.
Okay. Ayla, was he laid off or not?
It doesn't matter, I guess, because there's no clause in the contract, Mark.
Well, no, legally it doesn't, but the Master's saying maybe. I mean, was he laid off or not, though, or did you lie about that?
Well,
no, he was laid off. Initially, the first information that we got was that they were going to dock his pay rate because they were seeing some financial troubles. And then the next bit of information was that they were letting him go.
Master C also says he knows a lot of Ayla's friends and that he wasn't really laid off. He
you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no out in the contract for being laid off. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to take the time. I mean, you get into a contract, it sucks. I've been in these contracts. I got into one man. Listen, my kids got tired. Mark and Suzanne, bravo. You guys stayed on your kids' butts and made them go through it. I mean, every single child, every single one, I'll venture to say, that enters into these martial arts contracts, every kid at about 6 months or even sooner, sometimes later, and more than one time want to quit.
Addie just got her 3rd degree.
Right.
Over 10 years.
Right. But how many times did she truly want to quit?
A lot.
Yes, really. What, the first time, probably after a couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks?
Probably.
Yeah.
They were too little back then.
But you, okay.
They were 4 and 5 years old.
Okay, then they were too young. But it's a pain in the butt.
The nice part is when they went and got their new belt, then they would get good again.
You know, they get re-energized.
Yeah, for a few months and, you know, whatever. But it didn't matter. We kept it like school.
But the point is, all of them work the same. Martial arts studios are very strict.
Gym.
They sign
same with gym memberships.
Yeah, they sign these, except the law regulates gym memberships a little more because so many people were being slammed. Karate or the martial arts contracts are not regulated like health clubs.
How about a private school is going to be about the same way, right?
Yeah, so it's I hate to say it, but it's just too bad when people get into this situation. And listen, there have been many, there was one, we used to get complaints about weekly, something Oliver, years ago, Oliver School, last name was Oliver, but it was School of Karate. It was huge in Denver for years and years and years. Stephen Oliver or something, School of Karate. Anyway, bottom line is, we can't get you out of the contract.
It's karate.
I think it's karate.
Yeah, I'll say karate. You say whatever you want.
Karate.
Yeah, or martial arts. Here's the deal.
You nailed it. Oliver Karate Academy.
We tried, Ayla, but there's nothing there. We can't find a clause. We can't find anything. There's nothing that we can find to get you out of it. How much is it?
It's about $5,000 for the rest of the contract.
Yeah, but how much is it a month?
It was a little over $400 a month for all of us.
Holy crap. So you have a over $400 a month you pay?
How many people?
There was 4 of us.
Well, it's $100 a month per person.
You might as well keep going.
Did you stop paying?
We stopped paying and we stopped going. We stopped going very shortly after we made a payment because he didn't have work.
I smell collections.
They're martial arts.
Yeah, they're gonna come after you.
He offered to extend their contract, and she didn't want that.
But that's good, so she doesn't have any lost time, is what you're saying.
No, actually, what he offered to do, instead of $400 monthly, he would let them pay the year over 18 months, so it would be lower payments each month. Is it the same amount of time?
Is it only 1 year membership for $5,000?
That's not crazy, man.
$5,000
when your kids get into sparring and stuff, it can even get even more. Adeline.
How many people at memberships does this represent?
Well, it was 2 kids and 2 adults, but they've already sent us to collections.
Yeah, but he's willing to negotiate, is what he's saying.
You should, if you can, negotiate with him.
You're not going to win this one.
Tell him to get it out of that collections. I mean, that thing has been on there for 6 years.
You don't want that. So what you could do is just negotiate with him to either do, to at least get something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a matter of we're deciding not to make the payments. It was physically impossible. There is not the extra...
No, I know. But is he working now? Can you make the payments now?
He just started working again, but we can't make those payments now because we were working on my job. My job paid the rent and one of our, our car payments.
I'm not disputing any of that. I'm saying that's terrible. It's just like if you bought a washing machine.
Yeah, but here, I'm going to say the other side to this. This guy's got a rent to pay. This guy's got employees to pay. I'm not trying to bust her balls, but the reality is he's got bills too. You must understand that point.
But also, Mark, she's not consuming. She's not. Yeah, she's not. That's not a good argument with me. The good argument is she made a contract and he has a legal right to do it. But in reality, he's not exhausting anything. He is not exhausting. I mean, there's no inventory.
Well, okay, then if I buy a movie ticket through Fandango or whatever it is and don't go, should Fandango give me a refund?
But Mark,
there's a million different things.
No, you never pick like with like. Those are taking 2 seats from a theater that can't be filled because you get assigned seating. I'm just saying that I don't believe there is inventory involved here. I did not say she shouldn't pay. I'm just saying the parallels you're finding are not really parallel. I mean, the guy doesn't have it. Literally, it would hurt him not if he let her out of it. I'm not saying he should.
How about a gym class or a dance class?
The same thing. They're not exhausted unless they have a limited number. If they have a limited number, then he's exhausting inventory. If you have an open class and there's just a bunch of people, and whether 4 people are there or not, does not do one thing to your bottom line. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying the guy is wrong. I am saying my opinion is you are not being hurt by letting them out.
And Master C's point was if he lets them out, the word gets around to other friends, and then they think they can be let out of the contract.
He has a great point there. Unless there was a special circumstance. He has a great point. And as far as I'm concerned, he's not my master. So I'll call him C. Okay? So but as far as I understand his point, and I think he's correct. I think he's correct. I'm just saying there are some cases where people are not hurt. He brings up a good point. The point is, perhaps other people would get that and say, wait a minute, they just got out of this damn contract.
And unfortunately, all their business models are the same because exactly what you said. The problem is the kids come in and then they want to quit and the parents don't stick. I mean, that's one of the reasons all these people have the contract.
I know they do, because if they just did it on a month-by-month basis, they could not stay in business. I totally agree. I totally agree. All right, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Pro Auto Care is the place to go if you need someone to take care of your car and you want someone honest, reliable, and trustworthy, and you want someone who's been in business for 25 years. You have 2 locations to choose from. You have Littleton area, where it's kind of Littleton, and that's near Bowles and Santa Fe, just south. It's actually called West Church Avenue and Santa Fe, behind McDonald's. You also have Evans and I-25. You go just east and go north on Dahlia. Alaramis prides himself in a family kind of atmosphere. His son really does work there. And they have wonderful master techs that know exactly what they're doing, all ASE certified. If you want top-notch service plus gentle reminders when things are due, it's kind of like having your own car nanny. Pro Auto Care. 303-PRO-AUTO is the phone number. And the website's the same with a .com. 303-PROAuto.com.
Who did you say?
Another Obama era.
Look at that. Century RV. That's a see that live email. Just whatever you
In internet rules.
Then at the very
do Century RV.
Then I say
no, I didn't do this this time.
That provide internet service.
I didn't talk. No, I don't have a cost. Okay.
Challenging.
Look at the bottom before you even read the long-winded bullshit. It's from a direct competitor, which is just like a value financial advisor. That's who it's from.
Wait, is there another one?
And slow innovation. The biggest mall owners in the country are pulling out all the stops when it comes to trying to attract shoppers this holiday season. They're rolling out everything from winter castles to gingerbread making classes. With the Fox Business Report,
definitely miss having him around.
Oh, this is a good one.
He wanted to be a teacher.
Yep, they don't like the new company
either.
either.
He grew up. Things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say?
The same Chinese that are putting those iPhones together.
or making your jeans.
Don't try to convince yourself otherwise.
That's what somebody say. The Levi's place in China, they're jumping out of the window.
Yeah, I don't see my jean company kids jumping out of the window. Tom bought a new iPhone, and when he went to plug in the thing, a little note came out of it, and it was from a poor Chinese kid that built it and said, "Please help."
I'm ready to jump.
Please help, I have tried to jump off building 4 times. Stupid fucking net.
I-70 approaching the same spot. The rest of the drive is indeed
Ming was funny as hell, wasn't he?
as you have out west. Westbound 270 is really heavy on the.
You guys eat a lot of dog there, don't you? Tom looks at me like I'm fucking crazy, and he goes, "Well, where I'm from in the south, we eat anything that walks." They have restaurants. He was back not long ago. They have restaurants that have nothing but dogs.
Yeah, farms too, where they raise them.
Yeah, just like they do chickens or anything else.
All years, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know what,
and furniture.
I don't know. I mean, if you grow up and you're eating dog, how do you know any different? I mean, Dan grew up eating squirrel.
Squirrel's good.
Hey, Marge, do you care if Addie's first job is at Starbucks? She would make the cutest barista.
No matter what the job, big or small.
No, that's a good job.
It's a big company, so if anybody plays grab ass with her, I see money, I'll run it by Fuller, make sure it all makes sense. We gotta think end game.
Electronics, plumbers, roofers, and painters.
Plus you can give Tom a good deal on his Starbucks.
What do you order at Starbucks again?
Do what we do best.
Now, I'll see, I don't have that anymore, but I used to. You mean that's that one you laughed about? It was a quad grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte.
JC Dodge Construction.
I always wondered, say it one more time.
Quad grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte.
Guess what it came with?
Like 4 shots? Or what?
Quad is 4 shots. Grande.
Guess what it came with?
Sugar-free vanilla breve.
A tampon.
Call 720-613-5500 or online.
Just in case.
About issues you care about. Abortion, healthcare, gun control. Denver's top.
All the searching I've seen, there is not a good way to buy a car from another state and bring it here.
Well, you put it on Tom Martino.
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Okay, I'm sorry, Bill, you waited so long for this. I hope you have some good advice. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, when my daughter went to school down in Alabama, she wanted to come drive our car down there, and I said, no way. So what I did was I put it on one of those truck transporters, picked it up right in front of my house.
She doesn't have the money to do that, that woman.
It's the price of gas. It cost $350. They picked it up here. They dropped it off right to my daughter.
Wait a minute. That's all it cost?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. At the time, I found the website.
How long ago?
It was 2 years ago. Call Purify up. They'll know who to use as a transporter.
Yeah, but you know, if you could have it done for a reasonable cost, that is an option for sure.
Well, this is all going down tomorrow, though.
Yeah. Bill, thank you. That isn't, no, he's got a good point, though. That would be a good one. Gail, what about you? Go ahead, Gail. What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
I wanted to talk to you about a property rental scam.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, essentially, I was relocating from Ohio to Denver for a job, and I needed a place to stay temporarily, so I got on Craigslist, and unfortunately for me, I did a sight unseen, sent funds, and within 2 days after getting my receipt for the funds and the property and the lease agreement, I was asked for more money.
What kind of funds?
And that's when...
What kind of funds?
Funds, $1,850.
In what? Cash?
Well, no, I transferred it from my bank.
Oh,
into their account.
Oh, no.
Lord have mercy.
So willingly, yeah.
So why'd they want more money?
Oh, well, it was a month-to-month contract, but then they wanted me to sign up for 2 more months in order to keep the agreement, or they would refund my money. And unfortunately, when I started asking for the refund, because I wasn't, they, to me, were breaking the agreement, and that's when all the red flags started going off a little too late. So, yeah, and unfortunately, because I willingly gave them my money, the bank, it's not considered fraud.
When you asked for a refund, what did they say?
Oh, they just kept giving me the runaround. And this went on with email.
They wanted more money because you couldn't get there when you said you could?
No, they just were just asking for more money to secure the apartment that
It sounds like the whole thing was a scam. Was there actually an apartment or what?
Well, there is an apartment. Unfortunately, if I had bothered to Google the property itself rather than just trusting Craigslist and all the pictures.
Yeah. Craigslist, that's a place to trust.
Right, exactly. I never used it before and never will use it again.
No, I never. I mean, I call it scamsless. There's really not much you can do about it.
It's a freaking thrifty nickel.
Except she did warn others, and that's important. Eric, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. Hey, so I have actually, a suggestion for Carol, I've actually done this like 5 times.
Okay.
Her sister's buying a car. It's going to have temporary tags on it for at least 30 to 60 days.
We said this to her. She said her sister will not let her take those tags, even if she mails them back.
We recommended it.
Yeah, because I've done that 5 times and never had a problem. In fact, we did it. I actually got pulled over in Illinois bringing a car here from Ohio, and all the trooper did was we had a note from my cousin giving me permission to use the plate, and the trooper looked at it. He says, "What's your cousin's phone number?" He called him, verified it, said, "Have a nice day."
I'm assuming there's some trust issues between these sisters.
Didn't you have a bill of sale, Eric?
Yeah, I had a signed title. I had a signed bill of sale. I went to an Ohio State.
Then why did they stop you? I'm just wondering.
It was he stopped me for speeding. Yeah, he stopped me for speeding.
And when he stopped you for speeding, though, if you had all of that paperwork, why would he even call your brother?
He just
because the registration didn't match his his license.
Because the plate, I'm driving the car, and my cousin's name is Tony, and he looks at everything, and the plates come back registered to Tony, blah, 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 and he's like, "You're not Tony," and he looked at the letter.
Okay.
He says, "This can be forged."
Okay.
I want to talk to the person. I gave him the information. He called him, and he says, "Okay."
I wonder how many stolen cars they actually find that way, because, a lot of people borrow cars. I've never been stopped when I borrowed a car, because if you show them everything, proof of insurance and all that, say it's my brother's car, my friend's car, he's letting me borrow it, Eric's right. How would they know you're telling the truth? They wouldn't, I guess. Chris has also something else to say. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Tom. I'm in Iowa, and
yes, sir.
They don't have any temporary plates in Iowa. So they give you like a week or 10 days to go to motor vehicle, and so everybody drives around with no plates at all.
Really?
And that's a common thing. My dad was on your show a month or two ago, brought his Packard down to the studio down there.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
And I actually had dinner with you in Copper Mountain at Vets on the Rockies in like 1990.
Oh, yes. We had a wonderful time. Man, we used to do a lot of that stuff. Thank you, Chris. Good memories. Yeah, that's cool.
His dad was really a cool guy.
Yes. Jim, what's going on with you, Jim?
This is Jim, the cool guy.
Yes, Jim.
No, this is the father of the one you just
talked
to.
Hey, he's not kidding. I can't believe you just called in at the same time. What about, what do you want to clarify?
I want to clarify Colorado law only.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you buy a car from a private citizen, you can drive the car home without plates if you have, again, the title on the front seat. It doesn't say anything about insurance.
Now, our car guy said that's only on a weekend.
I'm not there yet.
Oh.
I'm not there yet. I meant to say...
Calm down, buddy. Hold on.
Bill of sale, and you don't need the insurance, and you don't need the title at that point. But you can then drive it on a weekend, like he said, or after 5 o'clock on any given day.
Really?
The theory being they're closed. You can't get a permit.
So, it can be any weekday if it's after 5 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
But as far as during the day, it has to be on a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking you at your word. I don't know if Bob, the car guy's wrong, or if you're wrong. I mean, I'm just going because I don't have the law. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So I want people to understand that. Okay.
Because I just did a seminar for a classic car club, and I did a little research and so on. This is one small little part in the program.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate that very much, Jim. Thank you. Ron, what's going on with you, Ron?
Oh, I just want to give a quick comment. You had Plumb Line on there.
Yes.
I had them out at my mother's, I think at the end of last week, and we did the 93 or it's free deal, and the guys were just great. I don't think we made any money off us because they were there way too long. And
now, are you talking about the drain one, 93 or free if they can't clear the drain, or are you talking about I do an electrical one too? That's a fine.
They did the drain.
Okay.
And there was 2 guys came out, and they were there for over an hour, and got it cleaned out. But it was just want to give them a kudos on that.
Good.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
It's 90.
Do you remember who was out there?
It's 90. Yeah. Who was it, Ron?
It was out in Brighton. So they kind of went out. They had to even drive a ways out there, so it was kind of out in the country.
Do you know the text names?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, though. We appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Ron.
93 or free is a cool deal. They can't free your drain. You don't pay anything, and if they do, no matter how long it takes, it's $93. I love those free things. Those
nothing to lose.
We'll do it, or it's free.
Budget A1 does one of them.
Yeah, for auto repair. I love that kind of stuff. All right, so we have a lot more to talk about. And
real quick, Bob, the car guy, just texted me, said the Packard guy is absolutely correct on what he just said.
Good, good. So Bob was right about that weekend thing, though, because it gets very complicated, this law. That's why I don't have a clue. And but Bob said that, you know, that 3-day thing is mainly for a weekend. The other one is after 5 o'clock. You can just drive it home, and that's it. So, speaking of vehicles, what about RVs? Listen. Century RV, I'm so happy they're expanding. Of course, they have their original place at the Colorado 119 turnoff on I-25 north of the city, the Longmont turnoff, right there on Frontage Road. They also have a big 30,000 square foot showroom for the holidays. Do you know this is a big RV buying season? So go to their 30,000 square foot RV center out in Lakewood. It's just north of 6th Avenue, picture this, between Kipling and Sims, and it's next to Woodley's. You can get travel trailers for as low as $99.95, and they have a huge selection of used vehicles. In fact, they have the biggest used RV selection in the state, and a lot of new stuff, with some discounts on the big stuff going up to $50,000. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Not Thanksgiving, but every other day. CentryRV.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning.
There's so much misinformation. It says right here in the thing, the buyer must carry a bill of sale that shows that and signed by both. The buyer must also have proof of insurance.
Well, you've got to have proof of insurance.
He didn't say, the guy on there said, you don't have to have anything about insurance.
We said there wasn't anything about insurance. Yeah, so he's wrong.
He was probably talking about the insurance on that specific car.
Yeah, because when you buy a new vehicle, your old insurance automatically covers it for 30 days.
But he said you got to have that. The buyer must also have proof of insurance.
Well, yeah, but that goes without saying. You can't drive.
He said on there, there's nothing about having proof of insurance.
You are a nitpicker.
Well, that's a huge deal. I mean, because if you don't have proof of insurance, you go to court.
As if you're self-bonded.
Banks take care of you.
I think you still have to have proof of insurance, don't you?
No, I don't have insurance.
I don't believe in insurance. I haven't bought insurance since the 70s.
It's just a slap on the hand.
Are you embarrassed by your
When the cop says, let me see your insurance, you know what I tell him? Fuck you.
No, you don't, you're self-bonded?
No, I just don't get, 1 out of 4 drivers on the road don't have it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, why do we need it? Me and Bob are in the
Pull
same.
my legs. My legs are both getting pulled here.
Insurance.
Insurance. Bob. Is that wrong? But driving across state lines without it? It is. It's every state's different.
Oh, big time. Imagine marijuana across states, firearm across states. There's a lot of shit, man.
Why'd you get out of the car business?
Hated it.
Did you really?
Hated it. I was in I had 3 computer stores for over 10 years, and I sold those off. I bought my dad's partner out in the Goodyear business. And then I bought my dad out, but regardless of any of that shit, it was a nightmare, man. I hated the industry, and I was absolutely done with retail, man. You're the same way. Although you have customer service reps, but ultimately, you have employee issues and customer issues. And I just fucking couldn't take any more issues. I was done. 22 years of retail, I was cooked, man. That's a long time in retail.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So the customer's not always
You're there,
right?
you know what I'm saying. When there's not a problem with an employee, there's one with the customer. It literally is never ending. That's right. In the GM, your role is virtually the same because Jeff's not there. I mean, you had the same role as me as an owner. I just took on the role of GM, and it was just a nightmare.
Suzanne, did you change the address for AT&T? I just got notice.
My favorite.
That our address was
Towards the end when I had one store before I sold that last store building. I didn't mind it because I didn't have the other stores, they were gone. And I legitimately just managed that store. I was there 50 hours a week.
No,
But I liked
billing for auto.
running the counter. That I
So I
always
wonder
loved.
if it thought
Being at the counter, bullshitting while they were waiting, you know, just talking to people about politics, just like I do here. But when I was driving to each store every day and constantly putting out fires, man, I was cooked. I started hating it.
So what's worse, the consumer or employees?
Oh, employees, I told you that one lesbian that came over and beat up. I had a lesbian store manager in Castle Rock. I had a manager, John, in a different place. John fucked her lesbian wife, and she came over and beat him up.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. What's going on, Steve?
How you doing, Tom?
Good. What's happening, Steve?
I bought a recliner, power recliner, and a lift chair at American Furniture in July. 2 weeks ago, a part broke. They ordered the part. It was the wrong part. Then they came out and picked the chair up and bought me a brand new one.
That had to have been American Furniture.
Yes, it was American Furniture. I'm sorry.
Yep. You know why? Because, you know, then people wonder why Jake Jabs is successful, because he doesn't screw around.
He runs a great business.
God, he knows how to do it. You know, thank you for letting us know that. I just got another letter here about Frank Duran, the real estate man. I mentioned this the other day, and they said, yes, Tom, I heard you say this. He did it for me. He goes through listings, and when he didn't find anything, he went to listen to, I think this is ingenious. He goes to a listing that had just expired, figured it didn't show up as sold, so he went to a few more that were just expired and managed to get a great deal because it had just expired. No one bought it, and he was able to save a ton of money for this person, both the buyer and the seller. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you need anybody great, 303-920-1622. Jim has some more to say about a car purchase in Colorado. Go ahead. Jim, go ahead, sir.
Oh, thank you. The Packard guy is back.
Yes.
We missed something very important legally.
What's that?
You were talking about putting some plate on a car, just any plate on a car to drive it somewhere.
No, I said some people would do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but there are many people that would do that. Just take their old plate, put it on there, and bring it home.
Okay, let's be stronger then. Tell everybody, never, ever, ever put a plate on a car that doesn't belong there, because you now have become criminal.
Okay.
It's called a fictitious plate.
Okay.
And they can impound the car.
That's good to know.
And put you in jail.
That's good to know, man.
That's different than an expired plate, where you're going to get a ticket for an expired plate. Just leave it on your car.
I used to do that all the time on trailers. I'll say this: I had 3 or 4 trailers, and man, I just move it around, and they never know what trailer's what.
You got lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky, because, I mean, if somebody wanted to be a real
technically,
jerk, they could look at the VIN number and all that. Thank you, Jim.
I didn't have any VIN numbers.
Do trailers have VIN numbers, though?
They have, yes.
Mark didn't after he rubbed them off.
No, I had to rub them off.
Bob Logan, question for Plumline Services by email. Do Christmas lights, when you have an outlet outside of your house, can you overpower that outlet with all your Christmas lights? I don't think with LEDs you can anymore, can you?
Well, you're right. With the newer lights, the LED, they use so little power that typically you wouldn't. If you're using a lot of the older style, that is possible that you'll trip a breaker.
Okay, but LEDs have very little voltage.
Very little.
I had well over 1,000 on our house last winter.
And by the way, Plumline, 1,000 lights?
Yeah, it's this thing.
LED?
Yeah, well, what it does is you put it in your yard and it shoots the lights up.
Oh, by the way,
house.
I wanted to talk about that. Plumline Services, for those listening, when he's not here, 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086, plumlineservices.com. Those laser lights, I
put one, they're awesome.
And they light up your whole house.
And you can move them around.
But don't they light up your whole house?
But they don't, I mean, they're not real bright, Tom.
They're great.
Now,
yeah, they're great for Mark.
Now listen,
I put up thousands of lights in 28 seconds.
I saw a story on Channel 9 last night that said that if you don't point them at the house and they point up into the sky, they're interfering with pilots because those lasers don't stop.
They'll go right, seriously, they go right through The ones that hit the front door will go right through there. Then we have these big picture windows in the back, and you'll see them on the trees behind the house because they go right through the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lasers.
You remember we did that experiment with a laser
Oh, my
pointer?
God, that was unbelievable. And that was back when, I mean, the lasers were, you know, little.
Now, Lee, I don't want to run out of time here, but I think I might. What's going on with your warranty problem? I can put somebody on it. What's going on?
Actually, I took it in at 20,000 miles for the transmission shuttering.
Yeah.
When it was still under warranty.
Yeah.
And they told me it was within specs or whatever. But to make a long story short, I just recently took it back there again, and the it's out of warranty. But they said now of course
how far out of warranty?
About 10,000.
Okay, if they're connected and you can prove it, then you're going to have a really good case. If you have the original invoice showing you were there for that problem and they wrote,
I do.
That's great. If you show that you were in there on a complaint, did it continue doing that your entire time until it failed?
Oh yeah, it's been doing it. It just gradually has gotten worse.
Okay, you may have a really good case. What dealer is this?
MedVed.
Okay, I need to get him on car day. Wait, we don't have a show on this car day, right?
No, a week from Friday, baby.
No, but, or we can work on it during the week, but let's get his information to follow this up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Don't forget PlumlineServices.com, and of course, ReferralList.com. And don't forget our Facebook page with a lot of new stuff on there, a lot of new videos, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Save all your problems for me.
Where'd you get your...
Bring your appetite.
TV you were talking about? Why'd you get it wherever you did, too?
Well, I was going to order on Amazon, and it was like 17 hours, and by the time I got home from work, I forgot about it, so I missed the deadline. So I went on Costco and got it it cost me an extra $40.
Didn't you see one cheaper than that at $65?
Yeah, but yours is probably a smart TV.
Curved.
Oh, wait. That one wasn't a smart hub?
No, it was. There's all different kinds, though.
You know, the smart hubs aren't the greatest things to have. I'd rather have an external one, and I'll tell you why.
Mine's Roku. I love it. Roku.
Yeah, I have Roku. I don't like Roku as much as Chrome. I like, of course, Apple TV.
But you can still plug one in.
I know you can. You can do anything you want. Apple TV is wonderful too.
I don't like Apple.
Why?
I don't know.
Apple TV's got a lot of.
I don't like
Apple.
I just hate Apple.
But I don't like that their hubs cannot be updated.
Oh, my Roku's update.
Yeah, but your TV's smart hub. They don't update.
Oh, no. I had a LG one that had its own smart thing in it, and it sucked, man.
I know.
You couldn't
That's
download certain stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
a lot of TVs have a hub built in.
Mine literally have Roku.
Which is the same as mail order.
What do we have tomorrow?
I'm looking for a 75-inch 4K, but it's that new...
I just have to wait for it to clear.
It's the new one. It's not just 4K. It's UHD. UHD. They're about $3,000 now. Last time I looked, they're about.
What is that?
So you can get it even higher than 4K. Yeah, $2,800.
Looks like
On the
Wink is in
UHD?
tomorrow. Wink and Wink, Tom.
I think.
Tomorrow, Wink and Wink.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see Gigi.
Okay, we're off then.
I always have a good time.
Sounds good.
She chops in other shit. It's got to be tough being a BK attorney right now because, man, there can't be a lot of BK